Yo! Ah! I'm lightheaded. Right now. That was a good workout. I feel like I could have worked out a little bit harder today, but I tried to go for more like weight. And so I didn't fully balance like amount of weight pushed to like amount of exhaustion. Honestly, I think today I could have went harder by like 10-20%, but if I'm thinking about it, I did two things fucked up. One is I think I pushed too heavy weight, so I got less total reps and volume. But I hit 2 new PRs for volume on my hammer curls and something else. I hit 2 new PRs. Like a little bit on volume. I'm gonna tell you right now. Today was a tough one, man. Today was a tough one. But it was like... Today was, Oh, wait. Actually, I was in zone 4 for 14 minutes. But then... Wow. Okay, actually, I did work out harder than I thought. I was in zone 3 for 6 minutes. I was in zone 4 for 14 minutes. And I was in zone 5 for 6 minutes. And it was 2 blocks. It was squat and row, then hammer curls, then mountain climbers, and then suitcase march with one arm and then the other arm. And there was 3 sets total. 3 sets in that block. And then the second block, it was 2 sets of skateboard bounds, which is like you jump side to side, and then resisted calf raises, then a neutral deadlift, and then resisted leg lowering, which is like you lie on your back with your arms up with weights, and then both your legs are raised like slightly off the ground, and then you raise one up to the sky, bring it down, then we'll raise the next one. So it's like a 36-minute workout. But I feel like how do I put it? I feel like I could have went harder, but like, honestly, it was 2 things. One is I went too hard on certain lifts, so I got pooped in the middle of it instead of going a little bit slower and getting more reps in. But the main thing that fucked me up is my forearms gave out. My forearms gave out because there was so much forearm work. Because if you think about it, right? You're like fucking... If you think about it... Hold on, let me bring it up for reference because I'm like fucking... My mental's not fully there yet because I'm still cooked. Think about your forearms. First, you do a squat with row, right? So you're holding onto a rope, right? And then you're doing hammer curls. Once again, that weight's going down on your forearm. Then you're doing mountain climbers, right? So you're in a plank, so forearms again. And then you're doing a suitcase march, right? And I'm moving 55 pounds on a suitcase march, just holding it there, right? So you're doing 3 fucking sets. So already your forearms are cooked, right? And then you're doing resisted calf raises. So once again, your forearms getting cooked. So by the time I get to my deadlift, where I was pooping out, it wasn't my legs that were pooped. It was my fucking forearms were cooked. So I'm thinking I need to get like my hand, like I need to get what is it called? The fucking, you know, the little like thingy, you know, the little thingy you squeeze. I need to get one of those. I need to get the little like fucking squeezy thing. but I don't know which one to get. Which I'll probably do throughout the day. I also, man, chat, listen. Okay, I need your help. Are you gonna help me? On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we need to make an emote, and you guys need to force me to start doing cardio on stream. I need to get a little bit more cardio in. I can't have a rest day. There's no reason why I can't do like at least 20 minutes or 30 minutes of cardio on stream. All right, that's what we're gonna do. I want you guys to be fucking annoying to me. Because I was gonna do it this week and then I didn't. Just a little bit more. I'm on a very good trajectory, but I wanna like force the cardio into my routine, so that I'm getting like a little bit more in, and like, because if I get into my routine now, it'll stick. Like, I'm already doing really good, chat. Are you guys surprised with me? How often do I show up late to stream? And then on top of that, you know, I haven't missed a workout in almost 2 months. I've been going almost 2 months strong. Next week's gonna be 2 months, I think. Yeah, I'm on a 7-week streak right now. So next week is gonna be week 8. 7-week streak, man. I told you guys, I've been trying to do this for a year, but I've been lazy. And they say the hardest thing is to start going. And I think the thing for me mentally, when I told myself, I am not starting stream until I get my workout, because I was prioritizing the stream before the working out. And it's not like working out is that hard. By telling myself, I will not start, like it puts like the pressure to work out now. Otherwise, I'm going to be even more late to stream. So I think it like fixed it, because I started to use my stream as an excuse. And I hope what I'm saying is motivating for some of you guys who've probably been trying to do the same. You're like, oh no, I'm going to be late to work, or like, oh no, I need to do this one thing. In a way, it's kind of an excuse. Don't get me wrong. Work is important. Everyone's got to pay the bills, guys. People got kids, people got college tuitions, people got school, right? But like, if you make it like, I'm going to be late to work if I don't work out right now type shit, everything changes. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, Maeve has her own billboard? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Is this Maeve? Imagine Grand Sonora Desert? What the fuck?
Hi, Brian.
Maeve, when the hell did you get your own damn billboard?
What?
You have a fucking billboard in Sandy.
What?
On the highway.
The one that says "come"?
No? What the fuck? Just because it's not Women's Month anymore doesn't mean I would ever make that kind of joke.
Sorry, what? I'm gonna go
Why
check out
would you think I meant a
Matilda.
billboard that said cunt? What the hell?
No worries, Matilda.
No, there's a billboard right across from the U-Tool.
Okay, well, I'm coming to see. This better work.
Do you not know about this?
No.
Okay, I'll be up here. All right.
Okay, I'll come over.
All right. See you in a sec. Bye. What the fuck? Why would I ever? What the hell? Wait. Right there.
That's not me.
It is. What do you mean?
That's not me. I'm prettier than that.
It's a close-up.
That's not me. She's got brown eyes.
Listen. Okay. Who else could it reasonably be in Blaine County?
Nova.
Nova. Who? Wait. Lee
Nova's a bit
Nova?
more tan.
That is. Okay. I don't know what to tell you.
She's more tan. I think she has brown eyes.
Yeah, that's the sun reflection. It's not a tan thing. It's like just the
That's not me. She's got brown eyes.
Okay. Look, who else could that reasonably be? I'm just.
It's not me. I'm pale as fuck.
Yeah, that's just they do the color saturation, right? Because of the desert in the background. You know?
Yeah, they're giving it like the fucking.
Imagine Grand Sonora, right?
I've never actually seen that billboard before.
Yeah, well, you could probably sue the damn county.
Why would I sue?
Well, I mean, I'm okay, all right. I'm just I don't know what to tell you there.
I saw this press release.
Oh yeah, isn't that sick?
Yeah, Bean looks hot.
Yeah. You know, I want to do more of these, with a shitload of photos and stuff, cause.
Yeah, I like the laying out of the evidence. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think too much stuff has gotten I don't know, it's so formulaic. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Okay, when is the last time? I'm saying this to a lot of folks. Since the beginning of this year, when is the last time there's been a court case where it's interesting, right?
Oh my god, what was that one the other day? Not the other day, but that was one recently that was pretty fun.
Yeah, but was it interesting? Holy fuck, it's a gang that's caught with this thing, and it's yo, did they do this shit? No, it's and it's not just a DOJ thing, it's even a police thing or even a criminal thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, it was the one where Angel called Haley and Miller incompetent. That was pretty entertaining.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was funny. Don't talk about the ass that way. She is now your superior.
Are they gonna be on the thing yet? Dispatch?
Okay, you're not gonna believe this. I had to remind Maxwell, who invited herself to the high command meeting. I brought up, hey, did the mayor pick a chief yet? And she ooped. And then not 10 minutes go by and Denzel had woken up to let Angel know that Pred was now the chief. So that Maxwell can stand on me. So the mayor fell asleep after they won because they motherfucking forgot to appoint the damn chief. What is going on?
Have they got anything figured out? What are they
No.
What are they going to be in dispatch? Are they going to be under LSPD? Are they gonna be
I
their own
don't
little
think
thing?
I don't think they
Am I going to have to make all my reports investigative reports?
I mean listen, man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it won't matter. They'd be able to see it, right?
Maybe.
How do you know they're not all going to be high command?
It's the thing, like, how do we... I don't know.
Well, it's a good thing the marshals have categories for everything. It's almost like I planned for these contingencies months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, speaking of, when it comes to like Ligara stuff, we have categorized all the Ligara shit. We just haven't had time to dole out the cross-departmental. No. Theta is going to be faceless. Ligara is turning its own bucket of things.
I thought Ligara was faceless.
No. It's like its own thing. Yeah. Oh,
Ligara is like...
It's quite...
trying to understand the Lord of the Rings universe if you've never read the book or watched the movie.
Yeah. But we're doing...
know what a Hobbit is.
I'm very impressed with the handful of marshals we have. Like, you're going to be shocked when you see the master summaries and whatnot. Jong, one of our new marshals, is absolutely killing it. And he's very excited working on it. It's like right now, my biggest thing that I'm tackling right now is... I'll put it this way. And I'm going to try not to be too cringe, but ever since the marshals kind of started up, I think a lot of, you know, super terrorists were like, oh my God, investigators. And so all these new terrorist organizations just started to pop up, which is great, right? It's just, however, we just can't handle it, right? And in order to prevent burnout, not just internal in my department, I still feel responsible for other departments, investigators to a degree, right? Because in a way we all work together, right? So I'm trying to at least focus my department's energy and encourage folks to try to, you know, for us to kind of like put most of our energy into like 2 or 3 of them, because otherwise it's going to turn out to be like, for every one detective, they're going to be working like 2 like super terror orgs. And that's just gonna lead to burnout, right? Because
that was like when me and fucking Ruby tried to take down fire starters, and it was just us.
It doesn't work. Yeah, like I mean, even faceless is getting overwhelming because, how do I put this? Investigators put the most amount of work into the city. They're under the most amount of scrutiny. They get the most amount of aids coming their way, and it's very difficult for them to see the fruits of their labor, no matter how much they're enjoying the journey, right? So I'm trying to find a path for that. So I'm hoping these press releases help. Yeah.
Let me just quickly answer this, so I don't know who this is. Hello? Okay. Oh wait, who is it? I don't have this number saved. Who is this? Okay, you don't sound like you. Okay. Like, really don't sound like you. Like, you sound like really odd. Like a chipmunk. Raccoon just called me and he's like, hey, I've got this murder mystery thing going on. And he sounds like a fucking chipmunk the entire time. I was like, this doesn't sound...
What the fuck? I think it's good that Wolf is in the BCSO. Yeah, we need cross-pollination. Otherwise, investigations are going to just be dead soon. Wait, are you still on the phone?
What is this? No.
Oh, okay. What did you say?
This actually. Oh, he's calling back. 1 second. Hey. There we go. Okay, carry on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Could you text me the details? All right. Perfect. Thank you. Ooh, that sounds fun. Is there like a game, I guess, where like duos do like a murder mystery thing?
Oh, yeah. I was going to do that with Vale yesterday, but I was like way too cooked in the morning. I need until like pretty much an hour after storm before I'm like locked in. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh, opposite. After
really?
Storm, I'm no longer locked in.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, are you awake like way before storm?
Yeah. I'm sometimes come around at the end of shift 3.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, anyways. All right. Well, I'm going to go wake up and then whatnot. But I do want to get like some of the investigators together and do like a big powwow. The DOJ meeting we had yesterday was like really good. Angel's looking to address like FOIA stuff and also the night raid stuff. And
oh, please.
I really want to start pushing. I don't want investigations to die off. I see it going in a very negative direction right now. I am going to say this with my chest is that we're very quickly going in a direction where outside of finding a hot gun, there is no light unless someone has an out of city fucking degree of like law understanding and all the X's are crossed and there's no things found, and that's a very dangerous road to go. I think
my issue I've been having with my current investigation was I have been cock blocked massively by not being able to get one fucking psych report. That's all I've needed this entire week is one psych report.
What? Wait, how have you not gotten it yet?
Because I asked psych and they said what you got to do is subpoena it.
Yeah, that's correct.
We can approve it. I subpoenaed it. The judge said, actually, no, that's not how it works. You need to use this form and then send that to psych. And then psych will send it to me. And then I will check it and see if it's relevant. I said, okay. I asked psych. Psych said, what form?
Okay. Get me looped in. I'll have a chat with Derek. Yeah. Okay. I think there's just, I'll try closing the loop. Look, I'm until like the damn governor grabs me by the neck and says stop. I'm gonna keep pushing on this because, like I said, things got to move forward. You know what I mean? It's like even good for the criminal when anything stops in its tracks. And I will say, just to be clear here, I think there's a lot of people that want things to go right. It's just I think there's a lot of systemic paperworky problems, right? Like so. Okay. We had the same issue, mind you, with the Bobby situation. We got a lot of shit for holding Bobby hostage. The reality was it's just no one has done this kind of thing. And I think, like, there's just some cross-wiring.
What the fuck? Drone?
What?
There's a drone.
Oh, what the fuck?
There is a cop near us. What the I'm chasing it.
Blame Nino? What did Nino do? With all due respect, anyone that blames Nino for this stuff is probably IRL autistic and can't control it. Not to be that guy, but that's usually coming from the same degeneracy circle that doesn't have like the mental capability of knowing what's up and down. What the fuck?
Why did we just get drone attacked?
I don't know. Wait, they gotta be nearby. There's only a range on it.
Yeah, there's that's what I'm thinking.
What the fuck? Sorry, man. I don't mean to like dumpster on you, but like that shit is such an excuse for like OOC incompetence. You know what I mean? It's like, let's put a spade. Maybe on freak.
Guys, watch out, there is huge winds outside, okay? Hold it down.
What if they're trying to kill us?
Babylonians, beat their ass.
Okay, let me grab this water. Holy fuck. Ah! Oh, that's what she meant by too late. Oh my God. Cause yeah, man, sorry. The reason I like slap down on this shit is because like, listen, in character, that's funny. If you're saying it in any kind of like OOC way, like in other words, you have context and meta OOC, then you would have to be a mentally, like you gotta be a mental retard, you know, to actually think that. Right? Like actually like fundamentally like Trump levels of like retarded. Tia. On that same ilk, trying to suggest that like fucking Roselle was AI shit. It's like, I get it. You're not educated. You worked at Walmart. Doesn't mean that shit was AI, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'd only blame Nino for getting his dick sucked on a yacht while sleepy Denzel. That shit. No, shut up. Don't mix that fucking. Damn, bro. Yo, chat. Chat, give me a 1 if you play Tarkov. Give me a 2 if you don't. Out of curiosity. What? Wait. Okay, there's some of you. Man, no wonder nobody ever watches me play Tarkov. That's a lot of twos. Shit. Wait. Okay, let me do a test. Give me a 1 if you've played Crimson Desert. Give me a 2 if you haven't played Crimson Desert. We're doing a genre check. Oh. Okay, pretty even. Okay. Okay, a little bit. It looks like a little bit, like maybe it's like 5% versus 6%. Okay, wait, let me do another one. Give me a 1 if you play Arma ever. Give me a 2 if you've never played Arma. Oh! Oh! Okay, we're getting close. Oh my God, what does this stream watch? Okay, we're doing a cross-pollination check. Give me a 1 if you pay attention to the news. Give me a 2 if you don't. Oh my God, I'm a political streamer. My cross section is politicals. No fucking wonder everyone's popping off when I'm like, damn, oh fuck shit. All right. I guess next time, you know, we're chilling out and instead of playing Crimson Desert or Tarkov, we're actually gonna pull up Google News. All right. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. All right, let me do a test. Okay. Give me a 4 if you enjoy my political commentary. Give me a 5 if you do not. All right, we'll test it here. All right. Holy shit. All right, well, I guess instead of open up Reddit news, I guess anytime the server restarts, we're gonna have to do one of these. Good morning! Kick.tv/dasMEHDI. I'm your host, dasMEHDI, coming live from Boston, Massachusetts, with your fair, balanced, centralized, and hyper-politicized point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, I am neither a Republican or a Democrat. I neither see myself as left or right. I've seen myself as an independent for some time. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck genocide. Netanyahu to my dick. Today on the news, Bitcoin is currently at $66,700, down about 10% and from its highs in the last 30 days. With the political climate being in question right now, the question becomes, will Bitcoin hit its all-time high again? Keep in mind, I am not a financial analyst, and therefore anything that I mention right now is purely for educational purposes. Any financial choices that you make are purely on your own accord. Contact your financial representative when you can, and I hold no responsibility over decisions that you make with your own money. Latest on the news. American fighter jet downed over Iran, U.S. officials say. The Strait of Hormuz opening up for China using yen and stablecoin. Offers have been given to the European Union for their oil tankers coming through. Trump requests $1.5 trillion for military spending. A lot of our military goals have been accomplished over the last 3 weeks. In fact, this morning, Trump announced a big victory for us patriots. Iran's biggest bridge has been blown up. Analysts say this might help end the war by creating more animosity against the West. According to The Guardian, U.S. defense spending would rise for... Okay, we're going to stop this meme. We're going to stop this meme before someone gets pissed. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Is the server up yet? Yeah. Hammy God, what a time to join the fucking stream. Yeah, we were doing a test to see what my demographics were, and it turns out that no one watches me play video games, but they're inclined to listen to my political ramblings. So, today we hashtag, do you love your country? Oh my God. I'm stealing that animosity line. I don't even know what I said. I literally just RP'd that entire thing. Wait, what was the quote? I was just saying whatever I was thinking. Why? Oh. I missed it because I was driving, but I hate your political talks. Oh my God. It gets chat ramped up. We get all-time participation rate. Oh my God. We actually just broke a record for participation rate in the last 60 days. There you go. You do have a voice for political radio? Yeah, but I'm too politically extreme for the average twatter. And plus, I need to also filter myself because, you know, we play in public communities, and you don't want to create a situation where another person you might be playing with gets offended because they have a dog shit OOC opinion on some politics, and they might end up twisting what you're saying into something that's really weird, right? So too much risk. I have to be risk averse. But I have no problem saying that I hope Bibi Netanyahu dies in the fucking depths of fucking hell whenever that man loses, takes his last fucking breath. That fucking son of a bitch dragged us into the Iraq war and now the Iran war, and us Americans are paying the fucking price for it. And every lackey that is that bows down to his feet to do his bidding at the cost of Americans not having jobs, having education, social security, etc., is disgusting. I think he is among the social elite that diddles and fucks children, and it is sad and pathetic that a war is effectively abrupted in order to protect his political stature as well as the political stature of our own president. And that the Epstein crowd, including Donald Trump, including Bibi Netanyahu, and don't be surprised here, including individuals like Joe Biden. Joe Biden is not Democrats can hide all they want, but even many of the Democrats, I would argue the majority of the Democrats, remain silent. Why? It is of my opinion that as much as you might think that the current Republican Party that is in power is so much in the wrong, and they are, let's not pretend that the Democrats are doing enough. Let's not pretend that they did enough when they put up Joe Biden. Don't tell me that they did enough when they put up Kamala Harris. Don't tell me that they did enough while they oversaw a genocide taking place. Don't tell me that they're doing enough when only two of them are fucking have stood up to try to get the Epstein files released. No, let's be honest here. Even the Democrats lie silently hoping that their people that keep their pockets lined don't get mad. They remain quiet, hoping that the public gets mad only at the Republicans so that they can take power next. No. When injustice is happening in the world, when corruption is happening around the world, if you remain silent, you are complicit. I don't fully expect that every citizen of our country needs to raise their voice. I think that's unrealistic. Everyone's got their own immediate problems that they got to take care of, whether it's like feeding their children and putting their kids through college, paying their mortgages, etc., right? I don't expect everyone to raise their voice, but if you take office and you swear an oath to represent your people, your community, whether it's like in a town, whether it's in a city, whether you're a mayor, whether you're like a state representative or whatever it might be, if you then remain silent and your prerogative isn't what is good for my constituency, you are complacent. You are complicit. Because remember, we live in a democracy. And a democracy only functions, a representative democracy, and a representative democracy only functions if the representatives are representing. And if they're not representing the voice and needs of the people, then the government inherently and philosophically can't function. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm saying anything too crazy. Don't matter if you're left or right, man. Like, I don't think what I'm saying is that crazy. Whatever your end goal is, and you know, whatever your end goal is, whether you want to be like fiscally conservative or like, you know, this, like, I you know, if you're into isolationism or not into isolation, regardless of whatever your like end disposition is on any of these like political matters, like if your reps ain't repping you, they aren't doing their fucking job and they're complicit to whatever the, you know, the actions of the federal government are. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's like a very complicated thing to say. Well, no, we are a representative. Yeah. Left wing, right wing, all the same. I just want someone that's normal. You ready for this? Hey, listen, we ain't going to go too deep onto this. Can I tell you, can we be real here? You cannot have a normal president. You cannot have a normal president anymore. You're going to get your Joe Bidens. Even Joe Biden becoming president was fucking retarded. Right? And I want to be clear here, right? Because I want you to sit back for a minute, even if I've just pissed you off, and just take what I'm about to say and just like think for yourself whether I'm onto something. If you remember back when Joe Biden was put up, why the fuck was the vice president put up to begin with? Even back when he was first put up, why an old fucking 80-year-old man? Why him? And why not many of the other options? And I'm saying it like this because too often, mentally, you are brainwashed, whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, that people say positives for Joe Biden because of the atrocities of Trump. And say, oh, well, Joe Biden wasn't like that. What a great president. No, that's part of how they fuck you up. Because Biden was trash too. Right? And when I say he was trash, I'm saying look at all the other options that could have been present. And I don't mean on a specific topic either, right? 80-year-old men cannot represent a young country, which we are. They can't. They never will. They break. Joe Biden fucking lost his damn life. Motherfucker was clearly cooked, just like Trump is cooked now. Motherfucker that needs to watch sizzle reels. There should be like a damn cap on how old you can be till you're president. And I think most of the country believes this. If you talk to every other person, they look at this and it's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be an American when Joe Biden was falling asleep, just as it's embarrassing to watch Trump fall asleep. Even if you remove all these other political, like, you know. The problem was, though, even back when Biden was running against Trump, people were like, oh, yay, yeah, but Joe Biden, or yeah, Joe Biden, fuck Trump. Why the hell did you put Biden there to begin with? Because Biden himself benefited from the same system that Trump benefited from, allowing him to get put into power. Because the system has lost its meaning behind what it means to be a representative democracy, and instead has become like a how do I put this? Has sort of turned into this, like, in my opinion, we're kind of like almost like an aristocracy now, a corptocracy, because you're not wrong. Like, you know, you probably heard buzzwords like super PACs and like, where's the money coming from? But it's kind of like a mix of an oligarchy from a corptocracy. Like, and why do people feel like they don't have a voice anymore? The problem is that our representatives aren't representing us, right? Whether it's your town, imagine, chat, give me a 1 if you have selectmen in your city or some form of it. In other words, like in your town or city, you're allowed to vote for a council of people that make decisions for your town and city. Give me a 1 if you do. Give me a 2 if you don't. Like, do you have selectmen or councilmen, or it depends on, like, different towns and cities have like different things. Yeah. Imagine like you live in a town and there's like a water problem, right? And you vote in selectmen, and if you go into your selectmen and you're like, our water has a problem, we want our town's tax money to fix the water problem. Their job is to find that solution, right? At the next level up, you've got your mayors and shit. At the next level up, you've got your state representatives, and it goes up and up and up and up. That entire system has fallen over. And part of it is that us Americans, I think, regardless of whether this was the case before, I don't give a fuck about like what the statistics were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. I'm saying right now, based on the system that we got in place, we, the people, need to start holding our immediate representatives accountable. And if they aren't accountable, we should be banding together, in my opinion, to work with fucking like lawyers to fucking take them, like impeach their ass, get them pulled out. Because if you don't hold them accountable, you know what happens? The next set of people that go up to put their names on the nomination ballot say, oh, it doesn't matter. They're not going to care about this. They're not going to be mad if we do this. And that's how it bubbles up to the very top. You know what I mean? We as Americans, left and right, center, whatever, feel powerless because we have given up our power. We feel powerless because we have not tried to get that voice back. And we have allowed, I think, these political giants to take our voice away by dividing us, by dividing things into racial issues, into class issues, like how much money you make, what color of your skin, what religion you are, right? What part of the United States you live in, and by the political elite allowing us to fight with each other has given them the power. Think about it, man. It doesn't matter which side you're on, man. You know what I mean? That's my position. That's my position, man. Hands up in the air. Just saying. Problem is, it also takes a small fortune to run for office. That's never going to change. But I don't think that is a problem, right? Let's say, for example, Joey, you wanted to run for mayor, right? obviously you need people to fund your campaign, but the thing is, let's say, Joey, there was no way for you to get the money to become the next selectman or the next mayor, right? But people fucked with you. Then don't run for mayor. Joey should be helping and pushing forward the guy that does have the money and making sure that, hey, if we're putting you up, we want you to fight for us, your community, right? I read somewhere marketing to sex sells and learned rage sells more. True. Anyways, all right, guys, we're going to put a pause on the politics stuff. Let's get into RP. Today we learned I'm a damn political streamer now. That's fucking crazy. Hey, by the way, I want to make it clear, disclaimer, I don't care if you fuck with my politics. You can have completely different politics than me. You can have a fucking waifu pillow of Donald Trump next to your bed. I'm just a fucking random guy on the internet, right? I'm not going to ever expect anyone in a fucking roleplay chat to like abide by my political POVs. The only thing I ever ask of you is don't be a retard and actually think critically about you and why you have dispositions, because I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, and sure as God that fucking retard in office isn't perfect. The moment you lose criticality, the moment you don't allow others to have different point of views and you shut it down with some like cancel bullshit or some like weird shit, is the moment you shut political discourse, is the moment you regress, is the moment you contribute to why we have genocide and fucking war crimes taking place under our fucking name, right? I ain't trying to be like fucking these fucking cringe lord 100K streamers. Man, I fucking hate their guts. I have no problem saying that. Fucking the toilet trash rat, or like fucking the fucking toilet trash, like fucking rats in the background, fucking like neo-Nazis. Like, fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't about that life. Yeah. I'm someone who very much grew up being taught that you should always engage in debate and arguments and shake hands at the end to better tune and understand and advance as a functioning adult. Like back in the day, man, when motherfucking like nations used to send their diplomats on horseback and shit, and like motherfuckers, like if motherfuckers could do it back in the day when they didn't even have like fucking hand lotion, in modern society not being able to do that just shows that you're mentally retarded. You know what I'm saying? Is that, you get what my point is? If motherfuckers who didn't even have bath water back in the day were able to like converse with each other from like nation to nation via horseback and like fucking notes, then us with modern day technology who can instantly converse can't do it. It just shows that we as like individuals are fucking retarded. Does that point kind of hit? Exactly. If people could dialogue via like slow moving horseback mail and engage in debate, even in the 1900s, you know, when scientists used to debate over scientific papers, if motherfuckers can do that, and you today with the internet and instant ability to like pass information and do instant phone calls and like, you know, have like, if you can't do it there, then you're just actually a retard, right? But not because you were born with a deficiency in your chromosomes. It's because of like your social surroundings, whether it's like your parents or like you played too many damn video games or whatever it is. I mean, clearly you ate the video games, chat. Oh my God, chat. What if it's happened to us too? Anyways. All right, let's move on. I said we're going to move on, but peer review still happens? No, I pass. I'm talking about you and me. I'm talking about me and Sabo. I'm talking about me and Wicked. The engagement we're doing right now, right? The engagement that we are doing right this second. I'm saying that's why I want there not to be a with us or against us bullshit ever in my channel, because I believe in discourse. I don't believe in don't say this thing, otherwise you're this thing or that thing. No, that's fucking this. Like, I'm not into that shit. That's fucking dumb. That shuts down debate. That shuts down, like, if someone came in here, and I'm going to use, because just to be clear, my heritage is South Asian. If someone came in here and started spamming some shit about Indian call centers and saying like, blah, 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 dasMEHDI, blah, 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 inferences because I'm from have a South Asian heritage, I probably wouldn't go and point at them and say, you're racist. I would probably break down the why their conclusion is fucking insane, because by simply shutting it down with a word, I have now prevented that other human being from possibly garnering enough information to change their own disposition. You know what I mean? In the same light, if someone came in here and was like, hey man, Republican Party, blah, 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 and I didn't actually take into consideration the things that they were saying, I'm preventing myself from seeing something that I may not have otherwise seen. You know what I mean? Shutting down, like, any sort of dialogue shutdown is fucking foolish. It's the atmosphere of Neanderthals, right? The worst part about it isn't so much that there's mass majority of people who can't do it. They choose not to, even at the highest level. That's exactly it. I agree. I 100% agree. There are going to be cases where you legitimately cannot speak. But when you have the ability to speak and you do not speak or you don't engage, you can't be mad. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine you were in the 60s, right? And you went to a college campus and you saw a minority getting beaten up and pointed at, and they're like, blah, 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 insert something I'm not going to say. And you stood there in the crowd as a, as a non-minority, and you just watched it happen. You might think to yourself, man, well, if I say something, people are going to look at me a certain way. But you know, the people that grew the courage to point at that and say, no, that's fucking wrong, stop. Those kind of voices are what's needed. And I don't just mean on that particular topic, I mean across the board. Whether it's, once again, on topics of education, on topics of equal pay, on topics of immigration, right? I mean, even the immigration topic, I think for me, makes my blood boil. I'm a first-generation American. I don't want illegal immigrants coming to the United States. The fuck? That's a security risk. Like, but I don't want fucking 12-year-olds thrown into fucking Guantanamo Bay either. I don't want ICE agents with automatic firearms killing Americans. The problem is, today, in the political atmosphere, it's like you either need to be pro-Nazi ICE supporters, or you need to be like 100% open borders, everyone's allowed over the border. You can't have the middle ground conversation, because the extremities that are probably only representative 5% on both sides have taken up the entire conversation, right? If you're, the pro-Nazi ICE people, right, will scream, you hate America. Whereas the other side will be like, you're racist. And it's like normal people are like, hey, can we just not have children get kidnapped and thrown into a cell? Hey, can we, I don't know, maybe use language that's not racist? Hey, can we, I don't know, not have ICE agents running around completely masked with automatic firearms and being so trigger happy that they start shooting up Americans. Like, most people, I think, generally agree on most issues. The problem is that they fucking like grabbed us by the throat. I disagree. You can absolutely have those discussions because those are what most normal people do. The media doesn't allow for discussion though, because one side greatly I'm gonna give you a counterpoint. Wait, hold on. Let me read your entire thing. I disagree. You can absolutely have those discussions because those are what most normal people do. Agreed. We agree on that, I think. The media doesn't allow for this discussion though, because one particular side greatly benefits from the division in black and white. I'm not sure if you heard what I said 10 minutes ago, and I'm not shitting on you for not hearing it, but that was my point like 10, 15 minutes back, is that the elite, and not necessarily the rich, the ones who have the say in the country, right? We're often the ones with the money, right? The ones that are protected, that aren't even in many cases even American. And just to be clear here, I mean elite Saudis, elite Russians, elite Israelis, elite Europeans, elite probably folks from like India, right? Elite in our own country, right? Like, there ain't no elite in just America. This shit's fucking like worldwide shit. Because if you think like Saudi prince ain't fucking like Donald Trump and vice versa, if you think Bibi Netanyahu and Trump aren't, if you don't think like, you know, oligarchs in Russia and our president aren't, like, you're on some shit. You know what I mean? Like, they fucking playing that damn investment central between each other. They moving their chips between each other. You know what I mean? If you agree on that point, right? That's baseline. What I had said previously was, yeah, of course they do. Because by creating divisions on racial lines, on like on fucking class lines, on educational lines, by creating divisions, it makes it easy to make a political point. Because you say, hey, these people are anti like Caucasian, these people are anti minority, these people are anti poor, these people are like pro this. By making it that and dividing, you can garner I mean, how do you think the Nazis got in power? Like, I don't know. Give me a 1 if you've studied World War II. Give me a 2 if you haven't. Like, bro, literally the Nazis got into power quite literally the same way these fucking world entities are like taking over fucking everything. Like, bro, Hitler didn't wake up one day and just be like, and because I'm on kick and I don't want to be misclicked, like, it wasn't just like, because dasMEHDI says, and then it like clips out that I'm actually quoting someone. So I'm, just listen, guys. All right. I got to be like a little bit careful here. All right. I'm a fucking brown guy in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want like, fucking TMZ, like, yo, kicks through. Like, how do you think, damn, like Hitler didn't just wake up one day and like his banner was just like, I hate and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, like most of Germany was like, fuck yeah. No, that's not what happened. No, he created through his propaganda, through you have to remember, after World War I, Germany was fucked because Germany lost World War I so badly that they were crippled. Their economy was in the shitter, right? And they were told, you cannot have a military. You cannot have factories that do this and that. You cannot, right? You owe all these countries money back for World War I. On the back of the social issues that Germany had, up came this charismatic guy who was a fucking painter. And he pushed on nationalism. And you know how what he did is he found a enemy and he said they are the issue. They are preventing you, the people of Germany, from being successful. And that it is their fault and the fault of the rest of the Europeans. And people by dividing and creating that enemy, he started to garner not just a motivated support, but a lot of support. And I want to be clear here. What's happening today is not a one-to-one, right? That's cooked. However, history is a great indicator of every nation's future, because there are lessons you learn in history, whether it's like the Romans and the Persians, right? Whether it is the fucking, like, even like fucking Alexander the Great, you can learn some shit, right? You can learn a lot of good shit from Alexander the Great and the history behind him and his conquests. You can learn a lot from the fall of the Roman Empire, including the politics that led to it. You can learn a lot from World War I, from World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War. Because we, at the end of the day, are humans that, as a human populace, has seen certain political tools being utilized. Anyways, let's dial it back. I'm going fucking deep. My point, dialing back to what homie said in chat earlier, I agree that everyday people can have discourse. I agree with you in that it is the news media that tends to sensationalize and direct conversation. But I disagree that I think my point still stands, because the media is a tool of political wings. Do you know what I mean? Like, to say, if you and I, if the general population can agree and we're saying, well, it's the media's fault. Well, is it the media's fault or is it the fault of the left and right? Because the left and right fucking own the news. Like, and this isn't some conspiracy theory shit. It's like go on Google and see who fucking owns them. When our laws have been altered in this country to allow corporations to be treated like people. Someone help me here. What's the reference? The law from fucking 2002? What was it? The fucking the one that fucking George Bush passed. Citizens United. And that's not the end all be all, but it was the start of the end. When our fucking Department of Justice started to become a bunch of fucking pussies, you mean the Supreme Court? Brother, Zyphemon, listen, I love you when you sometimes nerd out, but you need to think behind the message a little bit. How the fuck do you think the Supreme Court got to that decision? Who puts justices in power, motherfucker? Well, actually, yeah, bitch. How the fuck do you think how they're picked out? Why do you think we got fucking Trump's damn Supreme Court now? The president's fucking put them in place. The political parties do. Shit. Fucking distraction, Andy. Anyways, that was the beginning of the fucking end. Whether it's like, there's like what? Fucking 5 media outlets now, all of which are owned by the same fucking companies. I'd say Dems and reps own the news 100%. The left doesn't really own any major news outlet. I see what you're doing here. Let me ask you a question, chat. Do you guys mostly consider the left Democrats and the right Republicans? For me, that's pretty. What is your differentiator? Because that's pretty common nomenclature, but I can see the distinction as well. What would you consider the left? How does the left differentiate from Democrats in your mind? There is no right answer, by the way. Left and right is a very ambiguous. Left and right is a pretty ambiguous term, right? In many ways, the left and right is kind of what individuals believe the left and right to be, or what the common phraseology is, depending on what circle you're in. To me, the right is conservative and left is everything else. Left dyes their hair and the right shoots black people. Shut up. That's okay. That's Jesus fucking Christ. It's so dumb. That's so fucked up. To be clear here, I don't. Obviously, he's joking. I don't. For those with with a not enough sense of humor, I think Oz's meaning behind that is that it doesn't fucking matter. It's all fucking bullshit at the end of the day. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what he's trying to say, is that it's all the same shit at the end of the day. Are we done with politics yet, or should I come back later? We're gonna be done a while ago. Oh fuck. Oh. Chat, 1 to move on, 2 to continue. I'm ready. Oh man, this is entertaining as shit. All right. Oh. All right. Chat, when we go back to lunch and stuff, all right, when you meet up with the homies at work, you can say you engaged today. Hey, we need to do this kind of thing more often. Little bits of humor where the reality, I think, goes a long fucking way. I didn't sign back. Oh yeah, you're right. Is there not a high command meeting today? Oh yeah, what time? I don't know what time it's at. Oh fuck. I'll say one last thing, all right? I'm going to close this out. I want you to think about every streamer that's not allowed to talk about this kind of stuff. I'm very lucky to be able to do so, because I know there's going to be a couple like fucking dick riders, you know, for, you know, genocidal dick riders. There'll be some like, you know, hyper blue haired, like dumb motherfuckers, like, you know, some people that are like, yo, fuck dasMEHDI, I'm unfollowing. I used to watch you since Nino Chavez on Arma. I'm very lucky in that, like, I don't need to stream anymore. Like, I'm at a point where I'm like, hey, man, if I need to go back to doing software engineering, I'm cool with that. You know, like, I'm on that I don't give a fuck shit. But, like, man, it sucks for everyone else with a voice who really can't say anything, because they're always, no matter what you say, you're always risking getting canceled and ripped off a platform. It doesn't matter if you're left or right. I am, and luckily we also have a community of adults that doesn't get their butt cheeks all like, you know, chafed up over this kind of stuff. It's surprising. Because like, I will tell you something. Can I be honest with you guys? I'm gonna be honest anyways. As someone who's been streaming for a decade now, there's a reason why big streamers don't say shit. Because like platforms will completely fucking ice your ass off the platform like instant. Yeah. And not to mention, you got to imagine the crazies that would put all their effort into being like, clip out of context. So and so is a so and that, this and that, and then it becomes like a for the platform, it becomes like a thing where it's like, are they worth the risk? Either you're big enough to say it or small enough to say it. Yeah, but even if you're big enough, motherfuckers ain't gonna say shit, and I don't blame them, because imagine you're so big and you're making like $1 million, $2 million a year. I'm not one of those people, right? But if I was one of those people making $1 million, $2 million a year, a lot of those people aren't going to say it anyways because they want their damn Bugatti. You know what I mean? I'm happy enough with where I am at this point because I don't need Bugattis, right? I'm happy with my life. And if I'm going to say something that's going to sound cringe and you'll never believe this. If I had to make a choice between being outspoken against genocide and like being able to like speak my mind on things that affect like future generations of this country, I would rather choose my voice rather than an extra $1 million. Because like, what the fuck are you gonna do with $1 million? You might buy something nice, but once you're dead, you're in the fucking grave. And if your legacy is being a fucking pussy bitch that made other people's lives worse, why would you want that? But that's my mental. You know what I mean? I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want to be an old man and be like, man, I had a chance to save in a little bit of something, and I chose instead to choose money. Like, what am I gonna? I understand, like, if you're young, like in the 20s and 30s, but like my ass 40 now, right? Like, and I'm just like, money doesn't buy you what people think it's gonna buy you. I'm not some super rich, like, online content creator, right? People are significantly more well off. I'm not bad. I'm in a good spot, but good enough to be like, hey, yeah, I obviously still stream. I still got to pay the bills and shit, but if I had to make a choice between being like hyper PC and don't fucking say anything, like, why the fuck would I pick that choice? I'm lucky to be in the United States where I can say this shit and not get my head chopped off. You know what I mean? Imagine I was in Saudi Arabia and I said, fuck the crown prince to my dick. And like, I got picked up by the fucking Saudi mafia. You know what I mean? Or if I lived in like, I don't know, fucking Turkey or something like that. And the IDF fucking Mossad was like, yo, this guy is like not down with the war, against Gaza, and they fucking killed me. And then all of a sudden on CNN, it's like, yo, dasMEHDI sympathizer and terrorist, streamer executed in an airstrike by Mossad agents, So like his gaming PC blew up when the Mossad inserted a bomb into graphics cards being shipped to, Turkey, You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got the ability, I'm gonna say it. You know what I mean? Exactly. I'd rather live my life knowing I was a damn man than a damn bitch. Oh my God, or China or Korea? Oh my God. Yeah, true. Wait, is North Korea. Okay. I thought you meant South Korea. I'm pretty sure South Korea is pretty strong on like silencing folks too. Not obviously not North Korea and China levels, but I've listen, man, just don't talk shit about Samsung. Otherwise the Samsung mafia gonna get your ass. Yo, that's worthwhile documentary. If you haven't, chat, look into the Samsung family in South Korea. That shit crazy, bro. Yeah. South Korea, like I'm gonna be real with you. You know what game I would love to play? I want to see someone make a game about South Korea. And I don't think you'd be getting, you would never get this game made in South Korea. Look, disclaimer, I don't know enough about South Korea, so correct me if I'm wrong. Don't take what I'm saying for whatever. I've only seen, you know, some things here and there, but I would love to see like a book or a movie or a game about like the South Korean mafia, because holy shit, that would be so sick. Because Samsung, yes, is a large percentage of their GDP, but the family that owns Samsung is like so hyper influential. It's like, if you think of like, if you've ever played any games about like Japanese super corporations, or like read any books or seen movies or whatever about like Japanese like super corpos, you know, the whole idea behind like cyberpunk and like corpos and the whole Japanese influence of it, while a lot of that is true, it seems like a more real life version of it takes place in South Korea. And like a game based on that would be so sick. Like imagine a fictional version of Samsung in a video game or like a big movie. Oh my God. Arasaka Corp. Yeah. Bro, I would fuck with that. All right, let's play some videos. Let's do some RP. South Korea is super certain that has much more mentality and shame people online, so rich people get delayed. All right, let's RP now, guys. I enjoyed this.
Sorry, I'm speaking with our crazy, great officer, Arjun right now, Brian. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to appraise you. We found a fentanyl.
Oh,
right.
Okay. So this is interesting. So that at least dissolves a myth that it's just Coke. We're gonna want to start to see how to differentiate it. Did you see the press release we put out?
I did. It looks great.
Okay.
Arjun just told me about it, and I was reading it, and then he called me.
I want to go deeper on this. Like, I'll put it this way: we got a lot of W's in the conversation with DOJ. I'm very FOIA and the search warrant stuff's going to be looked at. I'm going to keep driving the effort for making sure that investigating and prosecuting doesn't become like a
burden shore thing.
Unrealistic burden for our society. Simultaneously, I'm going to try to create avenues for detectives to feel like they can get wins along the way, and I think the press releases are a good way to do so, right?
I 100% agree. There's something that's not in the Fent report though, because we interrogated Arnie afterwards. He could have been blowing smoke, right? But this is kind of interesting. Have you ever seen like tables in the middle of nowhere, like random tables that look like meth tables but they're not?
No. Right.
So you know when we were doing all this stuff in the consortium area, on one of the rooftops there was like a meth table, but it wasn't a meth table. And Arnie pretty much said that they go to they go to a vehicle and the guys shoot them, and then they get ingredients from the car.
So they're yoinking it from like a small cartel, kind of.
Yeah, well, they're saying they're not yoinking the ingredients, and then they give it to like a chef. Well, I'm guessing a cook that cooks it, and then they distribute it afterwards, right?
Oh,
That's what he's saying. And I would say that this is kind of maybe bullshit, but I think it might not be due to us seeing a random table in the middle of nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
I would
maybe
recommend that. It's good that you separated it out, right? Which I assume you did, like separate out his interrogation transcript into a different report just so it doesn't get out. But what we can do with this, what I've done with this kind of thing in the past is, okay, he's told us this. We'll probably end up with another interrogation in future along these lines, and we have this in the back of our mind. And when we interrogate them, see what they say and see what bits match. And the things that match, we can say reasonably to be true, and things that don't match are stay in the question mark, right? Until, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's some of them, most of them pled because we charged accomplice to felony possession with intent to distribute because of radios and organized blocks and stuff, right? For the rest of them, and most of them pled guilty. I think one pled not guilty, and he pled not guilty himself. So it just depends if they FOIA the report, right? I don't want to hide the interrogation tape, but it's not, the interrogation tape isn't in the report yet.
Understood.
So it can go in a different report, but I'll figure it out if we get FOIA. I'll probably FOIA about it, see what you want to do.
Hell yeah. I do want to do like a detective summit, so to speak, at some stage. I've been thinking about a lot of things, especially with all these like new departments and like, you know, information and whatever. I'm going to keep driving this point. If you want to put it, do you have Marshall Omega tags?
I don't think so.
Okay. Remind me in the next 48 hours to get you onboarded. Feel free to use that. It is a cross detective tag. So it's for things that you don't want everyday individuals to see. It's like an investigative category, but it's a lot more strict, right? So it's like the bin for, we have many different bins. We have a faceless bin. We have a Ligara bin. We have a things. But Omega is like every detective for things that do not have bins, because we don't know what the hell we're looking at yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
all right, well, I'll leave that with you. I just hope that you manage to keep fucking on the detective shit and not have to deal with fucking Ocean Dump PD. Because, that's just shit showing itself.
I think they're actually a saving grace. I told this to other people that have been fearing about it, is because I want you to think about each time people say, oh my God, LSPD, or oh my God, BCSO, or oh my God, we have a scapegoat now.
That's true, yeah. Actually, no, it's a very big brain way to think about it.
Yeah, we just say,
and they have to pay from their own pocket as well. So no, you got a valid point there.
Yeah, just like,
okay, right. I'll leave you to it. If I get any more info, I'll obviously inform you again. All right,
anytime. All right, take care.
Bye.
Oh no, chat. Brian's using Divide and Conquer. Oh, that shootout? Yeah, someone from ODPD, I think, opened fire, and then we didn't know till afterwards. No. Oh, that shootout? Oh, yeah, I don't know who it was, man. It was like, I think it was a... Yeah, no, looks, High Command was all about it, but like someone from OPD like overruled that shit. You're serving the faceless elites. Oh man, bro, I still have so much adrenaline still running through my body from that workout earlier, and it's been almost 2 hours. Night.
Hello, Derek. Tonight, this is Deputy Lockhart. I'm calling.
Hey.
Hi. How are you?
Hating my life.
Oh. Yeah.
That means I'm working though. That's a good thing.
Oh, I'm probably gonna make you hate your life more then.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, I have someone in the prison called Zelly that I befriended before I became an officer. She's very lovely. And she called me today because she doesn't know who to speak to. She believes that the warden is corrupt. So I don't know if she could speak to maybe you or another marshal.
Sure. I would recommend taking the report as is, or is she like afraid and being careful? Is it a lifer?
She's afraid and being careful. Yeah, she's a lifer.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Does she have rights?
Stuck in there. She should have rights. She has basic human rights.
We don't have human rights in San Andreas, unfortunately. I know that sounds crazy, but there's a thing. So the reason I'm thinking on this is because this is going to sound like shit, but there's rights that were put into place for lifers for this sort of thing. And I don't know if it's been removed or still is in there. Give me 1 second as I kind of...
Okay. Yeah, because they talked about an ATR? Something like that.
Yes. Here we go. Wait, codified definitions. Fuck. Where is this? There's like a thing where they can ACR, but I don't know where the hell they put all this stuff. It's so prisoners have their own like limited set of rights defined somewhere. So could you do me a favor? Could you write up a report with all this, and I will try to go as far as you can with it. And then we will look, Lockhart, I'm going to be just straight with you. The problem is that ever since, you know, the whole thing with like, you know, a chief of police strangling an EMS, and then they went complaining about it, and then they changed some laws, and we weren't really consulted on it. But by the wording of the law, we have to rely on probable cause. It kind of fucks everything, if I'm going to be honest. So it's not that I can't do anything. It's kind of like, okay, well, what do I do here? And honestly, the best approach here is take as much as you can. Send me a report number. Let them know that we're going to try to do our best, but our hands are a little tied, unfortunately. And I'm going to do my best to try to get someone to look at it. You know what I mean?
Okay, can we get like a doctor or EMS to look over one of the individuals? Because from the stories Ellie was telling me, it seems that the warden is maybe like might be snapping a little bit because he's just beating people past unconsciousness and just keep really walloping into them. So is it
we can get a doctor?
Okay.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, I would get definitely get like an EMS, a doctor. I know they got doctors in there as well. You know, they can, you know, it's just.
Maybe we can get like a medical report to back up the claims.
Yes.
But then we need to prove that it was from the warden and not from other prisoners.
That's the problem. So the way that it used to work is like you get something like this. If there's even a semblance that it's happening, you suspend a motherfucker, and motherfucker will be like, probably snitch on themselves so it can get resolved. But with this, unless we have like a photograph of them beating, or like a weapon with it, like I don't even know what.
Well, wouldn't the warden need to keep documentation of every prisoner fight that goes on?
No. Well, think about it. Like how many we don't even put in reports for every little thing. Right?
That is true.
And if there was, let's go down the line of like, let's say this is real, like this actually happened. Gordon can just be like, by the way, I hope you're not taking this as like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just like thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, you need to go through every like thing that could happen and how it could be twisted. Yeah. Because if it goes into court of law and you do try and get them removed for corruption, you need actual evidence to go behind it. So you need to go through every possibility.
Yeah. Like you could literally, the warden could literally be like, yeah, they were attacking each other. We told them stop. We beat them down.
Yeah. I don't know, that would be seen as reasonable.
Force. Which might have been what happened, right? I'm not saying who's right or wrong, but like, but that can also be said even if he's like, yo, hey, you over there, and they're beating the fuck out of him. So please do like have a report all sorted. Go with it as far as you can. I will see if I can have someone like, you know, look into it. And boom, boom.
Okay, I'm at the prison now, so I'll get Zelly to come to visitors only, and I'll take the report.
All right, easy. I would say also once Vale's around, I don't think she's here. Oh, she's around. Feel free to loop her in. She's command now in the shift.
Okay.
So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy
no
peasy.
worries. I'll give her a call.
Please ask the question. Has this happened before? Right?
Okay.
Because if it's
Yeah,
a
so you can
one-time
make a pattern?
situation, it's like it's going to be impossible. If it's a pattern, now there's something to work with.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
No worries.
Easy
I'll keep
peasy.
you updated.
All right. Appreciate you.
No worries. Bye
You
bye.
take care. Bye. I thought she was going to say something that would actually make my life. Oh, no. Like, with all due respect, Brian's like, oh, you're a prisoner in Bolingbrook? Hey.
Did you get distracted or are you coming here?
Yeah, I did get distracted because there's damn fucking corruption.
There's always corruption, Brian.
No, there ain't. Yeah, and who's got to deal with it? Who's got to fucking deal with it?
Okay, well, who's going to come to this meeting on your behalf then?
I probably already know what the meeting's about. Where's the meeting? Where's the fucking meeting?
In Rhodes' office.
Oh my God. Why the fuck didn't Blunt remind me?
I'm reminding you.
You're reminding me now, but I'm 10 minutes late.
Well, it's okay. It hasn't started yet.
Jesus. Okay. Why the hell you? Yeah. Hey, I'm not even late then.
I'm not saying you're late. I'm just saying I'm asking where you are.
I'm coming. I'm right outside. Wait. Okay. All right. What's this about?
Goodbye. Just type stuff.
Okay. All right. I'm on my way.
Goodbye.
God damn it. I'm fucking stressed. Yo, chat. I like that I've been RPing a lot looser now, and I really. Managed like an old man, more like an executive, guys. Shit. Gotta solve everyone's damn problems, you know what I mean? I wish I had only one meeting on my mind. I'm so stressed. Chat, I'm so stressed. What if we beat up Jenna and that's part of the RP? It's like, No, I'm only kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I just
grapple gun.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, Brian.
Hey.
You need to go to bed.
Well,
I need to go to bed.
He's got a
Yeah,
meeting.
bro. He's sick, bro.
I
You
was
need to
in bed.
sleep, bro.
I was in bed before
I
I
told him
got
that.
here.
before I got an email reminding me that in 15 minutes we had a high command meeting.
Could we do this like outside, maybe? New
Sure.
center. Yeah. So
New center?
enclosed, it's like a cage. Feels like
You can
there's
do
like
it.
the room's gonna be filled with farts or
You can
something.
do it on the roof, on top of in the air. Can you drive all the way to the news center?
Yeah. I mean, it's right around the corner. It's a nice little spot, you know.
Around the corner.
Maybe it's just a me thing, but like enclosures are like.
Yeah, and I agree.
Give me AC/DC.
Yeah.
Brian, you
Come on,
already have
Rhodes.
that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a superpower. That's why I can do 20 things at once.
Brian, do you know that? You know that by blip watching we can tell if you're on the phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're in a car zooming around randomly, making random turns, you're on the phone. If you're just doing circles,
80% of my life is on the phone about like, Brian, how do I do this thing? How do I do that thing? How do I do this thing? How do I do that thing? Hey, there's corruption. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. It's not my problem anymore, which is the best
Brian,
thing that could ever happen.
I want you to know that the accept call button on your phone is also the I'm about to start running circles.
Oh, yeah.
Like program of your life starting.
What if I told you that I actually have a desk treadmill that I walk on while taking phone calls?
I'm not surprised.
Here, I'll drive you. If only they knew we were talking about IRL politics.
I'm sorry.
I'll bring Blunt in case it wants.
I'm coming with.
What did Viv say, Rhodes?
Hold on. I'm calling.
Rose, I sent you a text as well. Check it out.
All right.
I see what Viv's doing.
The fuck?
Wait, what was happening?
She's over at Legion Square speaking with a number of officers, so I imagine.
Oh.
I was taking gears.
All right, let's just go to where we're going. I don't want to delay it, and I'm not going to be around too long, so I don't want to.
Bro, my fucking, like, test levels must be through the fucking roof right now. Like, I am still, like, I'm wired. I've had 0 coffee today, FYI. But I am still fucking wired, and I'm, like, 2 hours in. Like, I want to grab something and, like, squeeze it. Like, that, I mean, it's a fucking workout. Ugh. Stamps feet into ground and kicks away dirt. You have ADHD? Mm-hmm. Like IRL? Yeah, it's exactly. It's like, I think it's like heightened T levels and like fucking adrenaline still pumping. The fact that I still have adrenaline pumping 2 hours in is kind of crazy though. Like, is that normal? Adrenaline 2 hours after a workout.
Now as we get here to hopefully get her a lawyer. She's working. She negotiates on her behalf.
It says it typically tapers off within 30 to 60 minutes post-workout.
She has a right to
High
that.
adrenaline,
Hey, you
fearing, wired, anxious, or having a high rate 2
I'm
hours
sorry.
after
Hope you feel better
is not
soon.
uncommon, particularly after high-intensity training, long endurance sessions.
Where are we gonna go? We're just gonna.
Oh yeah, right over there.
Okay.
So is this our facility?
It's my facility. Yep.
Yours?
It's our
state property.
Our co-workers facility, Rhodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's under the jurisdiction of the marshals.
That's right.
Oh gosh.
This is your stand spot.
Yeah. I like this because you can see what's coming and going. And if someone's like overwatching, they can't listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Keep in town.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna be honest. I definitely did not forget about this meeting. You know, I didn't exactly have it on my calendar to remind me when I woke up and felt like absolute shit this morning. So, who's got stuff to bring up?
I can kick it off if you'd like. We had an awesome DOJ meeting yesterday. That was really good. It looks like the DOJ is working with us, which is fantastic. Now, in the event that you are unaware of this, because perhaps the topic has never come up, we had DTF back in BCSO when I was a captain over there. The intent of that was for the LSPD and the BCSO to work collaboratively on investigations, right? Like the broad level stuff. In similar vein, when I became director, I created these marshal tags, theta, gamma, etc., each one of a particular subject matter. For example, faceless, Ligara, archivist, etc., The intention of that was twofold. One is operational security, right? Prevent cases where, say, there's like someone that we've been tracking for 30 days and it's got some critical information on there. Well, we wouldn't want that one chance we got in 6 months to get rebozoed because someone uninvolved went and snitched it out, right? That's shitty. It burns people out. If I had an opportunity, I'd execute them legally. It's been working very well. Those tags are not intended just for marshals. It's meant as, while we may manage them, the respective detectives, regardless of what department they're in, get granted those tags and they're told, hey, anything in here, don't talk about it unless the other person has a tag, which is all listed in the master docs. In the next coming days, I'm going to make sure that you guys all have access to that stuff so you have an idea of what's going on. I just haven't had a chance to go and do a cleanup because tagging ranks are a bitch. I'm sure y'all have seen it to some degree. And in addition to that, I'm going to start doling it out to more of the detectives. For example, Lee Nova is getting looped into the bigger Ligara stuff. All that Ligara stuff has been put into a good spot. There are summary reports on a monthly basis. That's something I started at the beginning of this month. Idea being that if you're like, man, what's going on with Faceless? Matt Rhodes should not have to go and like search for the Faceless tag and read 2 years of content. That doesn't make any sense. Instead, the March summary report with it is, here are the reports. Here are the big action items. Here are the big people of interest. And here are the major things that have occurred. So within 10 minutes, you know what the fuck is going on, as does everyone else in that space. I would like to continue driving in this direction. For me, outside of just SASM, I want to stop detective burnout and prevent what I foresee as investigations going to shit because the bar is too high, right? This is going to be further. I know I've been yapping here for a minute. This is going to be further assisted with these press releases, which y'all saw the other day. That's only the first blush. I'm going to push for each one of these sets of detectives being able to get a press release out with a bunch of photos and do a press release so that those detectives aren't having to wait 6 months to have their hoorah moment in court, but rather have their big like hoorahs every few weeks. Because without them feeling satisfaction, why the fuck would you do it? You know what I mean? So, so that's all I got. Oh, any concerns? Any recommendations?
Nope. It's something we've already started doing as well. I pushed Maeve and Raka to start doing weekly detective reports on investigations they're conducting. Much like we do a weekly ranger report of things that they've done over the week, even if it's just tiny things like, hey, I went and pet a fucking rabbit. They do that every week. I wanted the detectives to do it because exactly that. They don't get the round of applause, especially on investigations that sometimes don't go anywhere. And a lot of people might just think, oh, detectives aren't doing anything or aren't getting any results. Meanwhile, they're investigating 4 murder cases that might end up going nowhere because sometimes that's just how those things work.
Hell yeah.
I think I spoke with you previously about wanting to catch up with all of the state level wide threats that we as High Command should be aware
100%.
of. Those tags will be amazing.
Yeah, I think once we get all that shit sorted, like I said, it's very administrative heavy to get those things sorted. But as soon as they are, I would love to have a collective powwow. In fact, Kingsman put some books together with nice summaries, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. We decided not to put them out after Pred started to Pred. So, but now we don't have that problem anymore. So y'all gonna get some copies soon.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I was just told that the ODPD stuff went through.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like is there a period of time before they are?
No. They're
Wait,
back.
so
they're,
things are
they're
just
operating.
in limbo? Wait, they're operating?
So they're on duty. Carmine's their captain. Maxwell's their assistant chief. And have they formally announced Proud is their chief yet?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
Remember yesterday when they learned that Denzel forgot to appoint the chief, and I brought it up, and 10 minutes later, Angel gets a phone call.
Yep.
I have heard that they are planning on almost everyone they're bringing on board is just going to be brought on as a captain.
Oh.
I think it's written that they're equal to LSPD as well. So I guess we're just gonna have a bunch of captains again.
Listen,
all my rookies are captains, by the way. Just I forgot to mention that.
Sorry, what did you say?
Brian's fucking with us.
Well, I mean, that's my. I mean, it could be like. I mean, I can make up whatever, right? Like, you know, and everyone that's above a rookie is a just below high command, but above captain. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My captains are about to be senior captains, and if the ODPD matches, then I'm gonna have fucking senior pro plus max captain.
Captains, you know.
Supreme Commander captains.
Captain pro plus max.
5-star general level 51, like, you know.
Prestige 3 captain.
Brian, I will say, just as like a like have it on your radar, I will not at all be surprised if Carmine immediately just tries targeting other departments off rip.
Oh, I believe it. Luckily, it's not my problem anymore.
Looks at the lesser jurisdictional authority in Los Angeles County, me and Ross.
You know, I don't know, like, as long as there's PC, right? I can't really, you know.
Yeah.
We just had an issue. The thing I had to deal with right before this is there's allegations that the warden is targeting prisoners and beating the fuck out of them. And I'm just kind of like, well, you know, what you gonna do, bruh? I say it tongue in cheek. Obviously, I do take it as a responsibility. Do not be surprised if to them I say, well, can't do anything, or you hear me saying that. That's more, it's my tactic of saying, hey, I'm not looking, but we actually are. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I kind of.
And then I go for their fucking throat.
I'm having complaints about Carmine and Maxwell's behavior already, which I'm just write the report and just go, okay, just taking it. It doesn't look like it's anything. And then if it actually is something, we have a paper trail.
But to make you aware, Carmine does have captain rank in the MDT now, because they're having to make their. I think they've got to create a department, right, for the MDT and all that jazz. Because he had no MDT access, but obviously he needs the MDT access. So I just gave him MDT access by putting him as officer, and then he called me back. He was like, just to let you know, I am actually captain. So obviously I've given him captain rank, so he has that access to the MDT.
Who's technically their chief?
Pred.
Pred. Did Pred get ranks and stuff?
Jenna was on the phone with Maxwell yesterday, and Maxwell was like, I was hearing.
Oh, he doesn't have tags.
I was hearing genocide, obviously, and I heard Jenna be like, should I just give Pred chief, whatever? And I'm like, they should probably just make their own ranks, because they're I don't know if I'm out of the loop, but is there not with the chief rank? Is there not like LSPD specific reports, permissions?
Nah, I don't think so.
I mean,
there
do you want them
command stuff.
Do you want them having chief, ask chief rank, and then all that shit?
I don't realistically think I care. I'm gonna be honest. May not have been the biggest fan of like the ODPD concept, but I also don't want to subject anyone to having to create an entire department worth of ranks.
Yeah, that would be ass. I do think that look, ODPD got voted in. It's important that we give them a fair shake, right? Regardless of what the past is or whatever, or what we might perceive to occur. However, notwithstanding, Denzel's got to do his fucking job. Otherwise, I will impeach him. And I might already be doing that on other matters. But that includes he needs to fulfill his fucking job to actually swear him in and make sure he gets his tags. Otherwise, for a department to fucking operate is fucking dumb. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the damn thing right now. There ain't no damn tags.
I think there was a ceremony yesterday. I wasn't there, but I heard about there being a ceremony.
Carmine said he got sworn in yesterday.
Where's his, I mean, the least they could do is update his damn profile. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And the reason why I'm kind of like pedantic about this is like by skipping those like little things, it kind of cooks the paperwork. So if a problem does transpire, it opens up those doors of, well, actually, we might have said some things over here, but this other thing was the truth. You know what I mean? So,
guys, let's not forget the whole DOJ changed in June or July of 2024 because of a single missed word or whatever in the Constitution.
Wait, is that what happened?
Yeah, it only mentioned like Los Santos and not Blaine County. So pretty much anything that happened in the north was none of our jurisdictions or something. I don't know. It was real wonky.
Well, I mean, for the very same reason, if shit really hits the fan, they are, as far as I'm concerned, and, you know, by common English language and reading of the Constitution, ODPD is innately your sub-authority. As any legislation derived from the Constitution, despite it may explicitly saying one thing, can be audited in the moment of trauma. So let's say they do some wild shit and you do need to push back, you still got the Constitution. So
yeah. Listen, if I was a shit stirrer, actually, imagine the roles were reversed and I was Pred and Pred was me. If I'd be getting a call from Pred right now, as in I am the chief of ODPD, Pred is the chief of LSPD. I'd be getting a call from Pred right now, being reminded that I'm a sub-authority.
Yeah.
If I was a shit stirrer, I would do the same, but I'm not.
Yeah. Okay.
I do think it'd be a funny conversation with Pred, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think so too.
I do think it was pretty funny, though. I ran past Pred yesterday. He was like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to working with you," but he was on the phone to someone. He was like, "I can just grab my class 2 and come to that bank truck right now." So just straight back into the. Well, there's a ping. Let's go to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Back on topic. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. We're just talking endlessly about it. Don't know until something actually happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tori, you wanted to speak about the Babylonian banks?
I had a question, which, I mean, you guys' opinion on it. I recently discovered, I've been noticing that the Babylonians in Shift 2 have been robbing Flikas. And they don't take the money because they don't care about money. So is it our responsibility to secure that money that is just openly available for anybody to walk in there and take after we leave in the
100%.
Or should we not care? Okay.
Yeah, we should.
Because I know obviously we don't, like, if people don't rob the jewelry store, we're obviously not going to go break the cases and fucking take the shit to put in evidence. Right. We're not going to break the laundry machines at the laundromat, right? If people don't do that, just because people can come do it after. But like, I think money that is just there in the open, we should be securing it, right? Is that, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
It's no different than when people abandon the safe in a 24/7. We typically secure the contents because otherwise they're just going to go back and grab it.
Okay.
Not that I'm implying Babylon would go back and
no, I don't think they
stuff,
give a fuck. I think
it's the ease of access of someone going in to cash a paycheck or whatever and then just stumbling on the back and everything's open. We don't have a means of securing it. I think we secure the contents, ensure that it's in the locker of a report. That is going to be the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be any perception of officers stealing this. So those reports should have the hostages statement and so went in, secured the contents of the back that were not taken, and everything needs to be fully documented.
Yeah. I was just curious if we were all on the same page of this is like our responsibility to secure, or if we should not care.
I think so. I 1000% think so. Do we, once that original alert goes off, there's no additional notification for people actually? Yeah, so we 1000%.
People can walk freely in the back and we wouldn't know.
Yeah. You know how there's those like New Babylon would end up being the shark, and do you know how sharks typically have those small fish that like follow them around?
Yeah,
that's what people would end up doing with New Babylon. They'd be the small fish.
I asked Alan about it because it was shift 2, and he kind of made the point that I was thinking is, if I've noticed it happening, somebody else eventually will, and
100%.
They'll profit off of it.
I don't think they're the only ones as well. Like, I've been to Maze Banks where I'm guessing they just couldn't carry everything, and there was some stuff left out on like, I think there was a tray.
Yeah,
and
it just seems backwards for us to leave
that.
it.
Yeah, I just secured it, took it to MRP.
Hey, Vil. Hi, command meeting.
Howdy.
I gotta. Can I call you back?
Oh, sure.
Easy.
When I see it in practice, I'll start enforcing it.
If the insurance company wants the money back, they can just contact us and we can just hand it over.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have another question. If I can move on from that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. But just correct me in case somehow I'm wrong. When FOIAs are FOIA'd and delivered, that
who is this again? Chat. What was her name? Wait, I know what it is.
Well,
I'm gonna see it though. My brain.
Like, if it's being edited for the sole purpose of
Lockhart,
well, actually,
Cassie
no,
Lockhart.
there's nothing that legally prevents us. Best practice is it shouldn't be edited so that they have a valid, like, current copy. But if something in a report updates, or someone was reminded of something and it jogged their memory and it's important, like, they absolutely can.
So
will it look good?
No. Yeah, I know in the past where that happened, it was actually pulled up as a point in like court and stuff like that, because basically the two reports just weren't matching what PD was working off versus what defense was working off, which wasn't great. But I also know that in the past where we've had to add something, like I called Angel and asked her. Angel was in I don't think she was Chief Justice, but she was in DOJ right before Marsh, or vice versa. I can't remember, but it was a long time ago.
She might have been captain at that stage. I think I know which one you're referencing.
Yeah, I remember speaking to her a long time ago, and I was like, I had to ask her basically permission. Hey, can I put this in the report even though it's been FOIA'd? And she did explain it to me. It was something to do with like evidence, but we have to then provide obviously the updated report to the person that has FOIA'd it, right?
Yeah.
Taking stuff out. It was something like, you can't be taking stuff out. You can add evidence though, but then if a report has been FOIA'd, you should be giving them the updated report.
It seems like the simplest practice is to not edit reports once they've been FOIA'd.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
that's
if a report's been FOIA'd. I'm not checking the channel before I.
Yeah,
No,
well, there should be a tag.
To put on.
Yeah, people add in tags.
I mean, this loops into a larger topic of I have an appeal right now, charge appeal. Somebody's appealing the charges because in the incident report they FOIA'd where they were arrested, the evidence of their possessions and everything wasn't in the report when it was delivered. So I asked myself, I said, it's 100% the responsibility of the processing officer to get their shit in there, right? They made a mistake, they fucked up, they're going to get punished. But I know myself, when I get a report FOIA'd that I've created, I also go make sure that everyone who's been processed has all their stuff in there. And I check with all the processing officers before I hand it out. And I think there's some level of responsibility on whoever's fulfilling a FOIA, i.e. the report creator, to ensure that report's ready to be given out before doing so.
I mean, that is why we have the 72 hours. Is to ensure that
I think there's implication. And I want to say, like, is it as simple as like we update the template we use in the FOIA report to say like ensure the report's fully completed?
Because
Hold on,
I don't disagree.
In your scenario, are you still within the 72 hours?
No, the what do you mean?
Okay, in a FOIA where you realize photos of someone's possessions are not in there.
Past
the 72 hours, and it's going to an appeal.
It's already on the docket for an appeal.
Okay, then you just motion to add evidence with the
I
additional stuff.
I am going to do that. My point being is like this is like an unnecessary thing I have to deal with now because, you know, like it was never added in the first place, and whoever fulfilled the FOIA didn't, you know, follow up with the processing officer. And I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm not saying that person made a fucking huge mistake, but I feel like there's a level of responsibility of if you're the reporting officer to ensure that report's complete before handing it out.
Yeah,
I agree.
That is true.
So I'm thinking we edit the template that because I don't know about you guys, when I'm doing a FOIA or fulfilling, like submitting a request, I'll just copy the last one that's there and I'll edit the name out, put the new lawyer, you know, I'll just copy paste the template from above. So I think we update the FOIA template in our email chain that people copy paste and just have it include, you know, something about ensuring that it's complete 100% and whatever, you know, contact all involved officers, all involved processing officers to ensure. So
I don't know if that, I don't know, that is implied in our training with fulfilling a FOIA is you do not fulfill that FOIA until you have gone through it. No one should be doing that.
I don't disagree at all.
If that's the point, the level of responsibility falls on that officer, and that officer should be the one to hold that responsibility.
I think the problem is though, let's consider how many FOIAs truly get service versus the sheer amount of law enforcement officers we have. And then we put on top of that the creator of the report. Like I've had to stop it internally too, right? You know, I had a marshal who would create reports on behalf of others to timestamp, and I was like, don't do that. Right. The why is because while that is valuable, it fucks it up because now that person who might not be around very often is going to be sought after for the FOIA, and not the person who's the scene lead. And
they're going to be clueless.
Exactly. In order to resolve, so one thing I've been doing is I will, at the end of these like large situations, right? I don't expect anyone to, I don't do it myself either. Like some crazy 2-hour thing happens, bro. I ain't trying to like fucking write an entire report right now. Like I'm chilling. I'll do it in the morning, but I will try to get everyone or someone to, on the top section, write down every officer name, right? So it accomplishes two things. One is ensuring that over the course of that week, because I get it, it's a big scene. I like, for me, like within the week, we have a way to track people down. Hey, put your statement in, put your evidence in, blah, blah, blah. But the second is in the event of a FOIA, we know exactly what officers were involved. So the reason I use that example is like, I agree that it should be the reporting officer who has to track it down. But likely a lot of these guys have never done it before, and they may not know who to because we don't have a part of our template that lists the names. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, I've been doing for big scenes like that is I will add who I know was involved. I will then tell the people I know who was involved to also add the people that they know was involved. Because there's going to be cadets and stuff that I don't know the fucking name of.
I think we're all talking about the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement. I'm 100% in agreement with Viv in the sense that that's kind of in our training that's implied. My point is that even though it's implied, it's still being it's still not being done properly. So updating the template could only benefit. Just I agree. Like a verbal reminder of it saying, ensure this is done, could only help avoid this problem in the future, I would imagine. But I'm 100% sure like it should already be done. I shouldn't have to edit the template, and it shouldn't be thrown in their face to make sure this report's done before handing it out.
What template are y'all using? Because I've seen like 20 different templates.
By template, I mean in the FOIA channel. I mean in the email chain, our FOIA channel, we copy paste
just that.
Please react in 24 hours. Please, whatever in 72 hours.
Understood.
Add a line in there that reminds people that these reports need to be completed with all processed people. Then so that the report cannot be edited. Do we want to enforce reports not being edited after being FOIA'd?
No. That's not realistic.
It's discretionary between each. Because they could get permission from DOJ and defense, I guess.
It's an absolutely not. Yeah. No one's gonna prevent me from editing a report. End of story.
There's something being robbed on a boat.
I will say, the whole like acknowledgement in 24 hours, isn't that a DOJ requirement?
So the reason why I put that in the template in the beginning, this is like a couple years ago, is to cover the legal side of it, to ensure that like every officer knew the legal side of, you know, having 24 hours. The 24 hours was to let us know that they'd seen it and acknowledge it, and then the 72 hours is so that they know that from that point they've got 72 hours. It's a timestamp because the time that the message goes in.
There's 24 hours is kind of insane. I'm gonna be real.
I agree.
Like,
there's a two-part issue, by the way.
Yeah,
on that.
and it is in the law, by the way.
You take one day off and you're fucked.
Yeah.
Brian, you might want to get marshals over to that 1090 on the boat.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a boat in the docks.
Chupacabra
Some of the
Street
cargo
has been
ship
hit
looks like I'm on the
pretty
outside driving
consistently,
in now.
along with the DOAs. Not with a 1090 call like that.
I don't
but we've
see.
Had 911.
Am I blind?
Under a place like south of the Maze Bank.
Yeah, you
people
got
running on
Nova
foot.
and Petrol.
One individual running around on
just
foot
under the
eastbound,
freeway, under the
hiding behind
bridge.
two people hiding behind
I've never seen a robbery
dumpsters,
over there.
wearing like you have it on the radio. We
There,
need to
Brian
detain them.
responded to 911's there. You've had DOAs.
They're
there.
now running eastbound.
I think it was Lagara related. But I've not seen a 1090 pop off there.
Right now, I'm gonna be 23 but for surveillance only.
So, real quick regarding the FOIA stuff,
I'll be across the door.
there's actually something that Robin had brought to my attention unintentionally. He sort of showed his hand. The 24-hour period of acknowledgement, it does say, we'll acknowledge within 24 hours. Here's the thing. Our acknowledgement doesn't even timestamp when someone actually does it. So, like, that's going to be impossible to track. But secondly...
Oh my God,
Part
we
C-
delete it and then put it back on.
Well, no, you could do it at the 48-hour mark, and no one's going to know it wasn't within the first 24.
This might be something we ask DOJ, that it's a 3... All right, so listen, guys, look, this whole FOIA thing is fucking dumb. And the way that it works, it's unreasonable. This isn't a full-time job for 99% of our population. We have the opportunity to throw the existing way away and have a better way. I'm not demanding we do this. I'm just highly energetic
it
on it.
needs to be done.
I've asked Springfield or us within Sassaman, y'all are free to hop on this. We're gonna have a web form. If you want a FOIA, you fill that shit out, and it goes to a sheet with all the information that High Command and Command would need to know. That it would, with the date that's entered in, with the timestamp, with the acknowledgement, whether it's sent out and the same as being done with subpoenas. Because I ain't trying to look at Discordia all day for one little blip on 1 in 100 channels and 1 in 100 servers, whether someone did a thing, right? And if someone oopsie daisy because they went on vacation for 3 days, or getting reamed in the ass for 2 weeks, and an investigation goes sideways, that's just cooked. Like, you know what I mean? So there just needs
to. Brian and Ventura, you guys will have been familiar with this. Remember the Robin thing, where BCSO, LSPD, and SASM all collectively denied the collective FOIA request?
Is that
Which one?
It's the one where I provided him the statement that we all agreed to. Yes, the weapon casing one.
Yeah.
He showed his hand on that one and reminded me, and I was actually unaware of this, that you only have a 24-hour period to determine if it's exempt. If it's exempt and you're at 48 hours, you're past the review period to determine if it's exempt.
I mean, listen, it's so easy for us to exempt it on good faith for a little bit. And we had a situation recently, and I'll describe it in detail. Someone was cooking meth on the observatory because God fucking knows why, and then was Pikachu face when marshals arrested them. In doing so, 2 of their associates tried to fuck around, tried to grab him out, go fucked off. Then one of them tried to be his legal aid, thus giving us more evidence. And then started trying to like rat their way through legislation to like God knows what. So it became an act. We didn't have the intent in the moment to go any further and get the other 2. but as a consequence of the ratting, for lack of a better word, we're like, I bet fucking active investigation, we're running all your shit, and now they went to jail. So my point there being that if someone looks at it and like is like, hey, there is something that we can still do here, or something that I still need to figure out because I need more evidence, that is inherently an active investigation, right? I don't know. Does that resolve the point, or did I miss?
No. It's the 24-hour period.
Yeah, that like
if something is an active investigation and someone FOIAs it today, right now, we only have 24 hours to say that's exempt. Essentially, it's saying if you exceed that 24-hour period, you can't claim an exemption. You don't have the full 72 hours to claim it's exempt.
Which, if we're saying that 24 hours is too short for people to even acknowledge a message, then it's too short to say it's exempt. Because who you can't expect somebody who is completely uninvolved with something to read it and then go, yeah, this is exempt, because they're not the primary, they're not the lead investigator.
Yeah,
they won't have the information.
I see what you're saying, and notwithstanding, this would
all 24-hour periods in this. Listen, we have put forth like a large amount of effort into ensuring that the general system that criminals have to engage in is like results in like the least amount of burden on them, right? Like we have 24-hour holds, and like there are certain extensions on things, but the long story short is that like that same level of like middle ground is not provided in the opposing direction. For us, it's you have 24 hours to do this. You have 24 hours to do that.
Matilda is down.
If you don't, then
sending the shot knife.
It's probably around behind these buildings.
He's out behind the building, behind Big House.
It's unreasonable. Essentially, with all of this, if a single officer as primary takes a single day off, they can fail to acknowledge receipt.
Mr. Exchange, you're fine now.
And
then,
despite it being saying for internal government communications, you don't claim that in 24 hours, you're fucked.
I think we should just bring this up to Angel since she's already changing the FOIA legislation. So it's an extra thing that can get worked on.
Sure. Definitely.
Why don't we give a alter version of what we want without the expectation that it will become the thing, but at least give them be a talking point? And I say this because as constructive as that conversation was, if I was on the other side, having something with my recommended changes would assist me in remembering exactly what was being asked, right? You get what I'm saying? It's easy to misconstrue put anyone in that position, what may have been requested versus what's actually being requested, right? I'm even go further. I think it should be 72 hours to acknowledge, 5 days to deliver. Times have changed. Culture has changed. It's very difficult. We want to do right by everyone, and these gotchas are not good for a system.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it'll just be weaponized against us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say though, I'm kind of on the same page as Rhodes in terms of I don't think reports should be edited after being FOIA'd. I think it's a lot simpler to just, if you have something to add, you make a new report and you reference it.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
Wait, you said you think things should be edited?
I'm editing the original report. Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
And then you're handing it back to the lawyers.
If I'm primary in a situation, and I know that a report has to be edited, and I know it's not going to fall within the 72-hour period, because let's say the statement I need is an officer who took a 3-day leave, and they're only going to be back 24 hours after that 72-hour period. I'm going to provide them the current one, and because I'll have known that there's going to be an edit, I will let them know that there's likely going to be an edit, and I'll update them. However,
that's only if you know there's going to be an edit.
Correct. But what I'm saying is, if I'm looking at a report and I know, I'm just referencing stuff, I was like, oh fuck, I didn't put my statement, and had no knowledge that it was FOIA'd, my statement's still going in there. Legally, there isn't anything preventing me from doing so. It's not like I did it in bad faith.
I agreed. I also want to go even further than that. We provide FOIAs. Let me just put up my glasses real quick.
Are they digital FOIAs or are they paper FOIAs?
No, they're digital.
Okay, so
it's a printout of a record. Well, it's it's a capture of the record at the time of request, right? Or the
If
time of processing.
If I export you right now something, and then I export you the file, is it a?
So that link doesn't actually change.
It's dead.
But will the contents of the link update when the report's updated?
That's
no, it does change.
As soon as you click export again, that link will update with whatever it is at the time you last clicked.
That same link,
or that? No, it's a new
same link. No,
wait, it updates.
Again, right?
Yeah.
Yep, it does.
Oh, there we go. Well, so MDT things aside, and tell me if I'm going way off the reservation. The only thing we give a shit about is the Constitution, and what derives from it is legislation. The legislation is something that we can alter. The lens by which I think it's important to maintain is people have the right to information and the right to a fair trial and due process. And the reason I point that out is us updating a report because of whatever the reason might be, as long as it was updated in good faith. In other words, we weren't intentionally hiding information, be it you were on vacation for 3 days, be it we're like, oh shit, there's some more information, I need to add it. I think it is only reasonable to be updating the proper report with the proper information, because the only time that report is going to be fully serviced is if it goes through the court process. So in the event someone FOIAs something and they have some capture of information, I get it from maybe a citizen's perspective, like, oh my God, more information got added. Well, yeah, motherfucker, because we don't like sleep after, you know, we don't just hit a button and the thing's over. No. If they then bring it to court, we literally say, you know, you have the report, version. It's been updated. Yeah. And if they notice it's updated, there's no wrongdoing. I mean, they got that shit. You know what I mean?
Just on following. So technically, like, let's say I handed fucking Viv a FOIA, whatever, she requested, she got it. 5 days later, I was like, oh, fuck, this photo should be in there. I could add that photo, export it again to update it, and then tell Viv that it's been updated.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I don't even know if we, to be pedantic a little bit, nothing requires us to give them the updated one.
But it's best practice. It would definitely be best practice and would resolve any like bad faith arguments of like.
So what if it's like, what if it's posted on, what if like in this case it's an appeal posted on the docket in their current version of the report?
Then you
have to notify
your evidence
updated.
Yes.
Okay. So what I did in this circumstance is I had him add the evidence into a separate report, and I motioned to add that evidence into the docket posting. That's what I did.
You could have done it in the original and then just literally reposted the FOIA. And unfortunately, while the link is gonna, I guess that's sort of kind of a tricky thing, because the actual link itself will be identical. So
I do think that this
add a line at the bottom and you just say note, you know, February 3rd, 3 p.m. Eastern, added this photo post FOIA thing, and then you let them know, hey, it got updated, and it's very clear what was updated, what was added. So it's not like these legislations where you have to go run it through some goddamn diff checker to figure out what changed. That's just, we all hate that from our side of things. We shouldn't do that to them.
Okay, so best practice would be post FOIA submission, or I guess delivery, timestamp anything being added to the body.
Yeah, and do it like at the bottom. Maybe do a line above it so it's very clear what was added, what changed.
This added.
I do think that whatever this is should be not only discussed but also put into legislation, because I think leaning on a judge to make a decision that may or may not even be baked in law and more about their feelings of how buttons work is a dangerous route. So, because here's the thing, from our perspective, I think it's beyond reasonable that someone might Karen their way into a FOIA like 30 minutes after getting arrested. The reality is that we don't necessarily work on their timetable, and it may take us a little bit longer. And so having that clarity then, instead of getting sorted out at the end of a court case, is probably the safe route.
There is no, you can't deny a FOIA because the report's incomplete, right?
I mean, you just, I'm going to be real with you. You say it's an active investigation. We're still collating the information.
Yeah, but unfortunately that ends up being like a dangerous slope, because oftentimes I feel like people would never be able to justify the active investigation.
Well, there's
like pending a statement from an officer. I feel like you can maybe articulate it, but I feel like it would be weak in front of a judge.
Well, so I want to be very particular about my phrase there, right? If there was an incident and, there's a request put in, and we can service this in 3 days, then we service it in 3 days. But if there are extenuating circumstances preventing us from acquiring the full scope of the evidence, I think that's well within reason. In fact, it's something that as a part of the denial, we can let them know, right? Hey, these 2 cops are in fucking ICU. We are awaiting their release before we conclude this, right? And if they were involved in the fucking FOIA, that means they were involved for putting the motherfuckers in ICU. So suck my dick. You know what I mean? Bring me to court. You know what I mean?
Obviously, it'll heavily depend on the articulation, but you're not wrong.
Yeah. As long as it's good faith. Like I'm by no means saying like we open the door for every age-old cop be like, well, I'm going on Disney World this week. I'm denied active investigation, but
Yeah, that would be problematic. And then
guys as well.
Who?
Maeve? No.
To be fair, too, right? As I don't know if this has been done, but if something gets FOIA'd, we need to put the tag in there, right? So that any post facto stuff we do, we have, let's say the legislation gets updated, we know what needs to be done, if that makes sense.
That's
you know
one of
what
those
I mean?
things where people do, but also people don't. That's one of the things like Viv said in our training, it's implied to do it, but it's something that's overlooked.
Well, that's why we're having our administrative team handle it all. They're going to be looking over our stuff, and then I've given them full power to like start spamming people if their shit's not completed. Because like one person being an expert with how this stuff works is always going to work, in my opinion, work out better than folks that have never done it before. It gets thrown on their lap and they're trying to figure out how to do it over 3 days and maybe stumbling,
Blunt, were you here when we had originally brought up the FOIA stuff in the 24-hour period for exemptions?
No, I got here pretty late.
So, there was a FOIA from Robin a while ago regarding, I want to say it had something to do with one of the Simones and casings, and they wanted to FOIA report 1515, which is
chat. Am I missing something? Like
I do remember that.
Like
he showed his hand because
like I get it
there was
mechanically. You gave thing.
Wait, were you the one who
but
put
like
in the FOIA request?
Shit.
Yes.
Like
okay, so there was
updating a report
him
because more evidence were found, or there's extraneous circumstances preventing it. That evidence shouldn't just like dematerialize.
We were still within the 24-hour period.
There's nothing
when we were.
It wouldn't make any sense to be like,
and so he showed
this
his hand
evidence,
and said,
and putting it in a different report.
He showed his
we
hand
don't
and went,
have the MDT doesn't support that well.
Actually,
you'd be
figure out whether
creating
or not
a bigger
it falls under an
burden.
exempt category.
Just resend that shit.
Article 2, Part C. Says the standard review period is 24 hours to determine if the requested report is exempt from FOIA. So
yeah, there was a delay.
Literally, we only have 24 hours if it's exempt, and if we go beyond that, the implication is it has to be provided. That's never been brought up before. And then there's also, I want to say, a clarification, or I want to say you put in an additional FOIA thing with clarifying information, so like furthered us being in the 24-hour period. But I bring that up as a
but it doesn't, just because someone lost a court case doesn't mean
hours in any capacity.
Listen, a court case is bringing arguments.
Yeah, the challenge with that one,
you could have been in the right, but your argument was dog shit
too. Given it was like not an incident report that has like a primary that's very obvious. It was a database, so ultimately we landed on reserving it to all 3 high command.
And then
but sometimes those kind of questions will come up that'll delay it. Be wiggle room for that.
I think we should just kind of submit our notes to Angel, like a 72-hour period to acknowledge, 5-day period to deliver. We wanted to increase the amount of ways we could deny it, so they're an uninvolved party or not representing an involved party.
Yeah.
and potentially extend the time scope if they're requesting a large time frame of reports that we have seen before, or denial based on repeated request of the same report.
Yeah, I think we could put a section in there to close the fear of like updated reports, that if something has been FOIA'd, I'm going to go on the side of caution and say that we don't re-deliver it, but instead we let them know that this has been updated again, and then it is on them to request a FOIA, right? And the reason I'm using
ourselves in the foot there, though.
Well, just to fully give out my thought, because I'm sure you guys got good ones as well, but the reason I kind of landed on that is, if say it's still being updated over the course of 24 hours and it's like 2 or 3 cops updating it, I don't want us to get into a letter of the law argument where it's like the first guy updated, now he sends it, now the third guy updated it, and then he sends it, and then, you know, but instead we're like, hey, this has been updated post FOIA delivery, FYI, and so now they have to request it again. That way it's a bounded time, you know what I mean? But what was it? What did you guys see as the roadblock with that?
I think we shoot ourselves in the foot. Going back to the whole, like, even if something is tagged FOIA, the potential exists that it's not, and then we're like legally in hot water, as opposed to it just being a formality. And the reality is they always have. See. Well, actually, the link won't update unless you actually press the export button, right? Well, the link is the same, but the download won't actually change.
I disagree, because I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot by leaving this loophole open, and then us getting into a situation like in the past where now a judge live in a court case that could be huge is like, well, actually, my opinion and gray area interpretation is that this was wrong, right? And then it gets thrown
kind
out,
of middle
right?
ground. Make it a best practice for us to add the evidence that is that report within the discovery period. So if there is any material changes between the FOIA and the one that we have, it is evident within the discovery period, which allows the defense the opportunity to check the evidence and change their course of action if necessary.
See, I think that falls under common sense and would happen regardless. So my expectation would be that if that's going to be the primary issue, is in the event where it's brought to court, which would be when it's primarily an issue, that it would be resolved.
My stream's
by
ripping.
default.
Can you see me?
If it's being submitted and there's an outdated version, like if you're involved in the case, you're going to know if it's been updated since the FOIA. I think it gets resolved that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, potentially, yeah, you should know. I'm thinking of, people being scatterbrained. They get the FOIA request, they deliver it, then they don't read it again, and somebody else has filled in a statement 3 days after the FOIA, and they don't know, and then they turn up at the court, and suddenly they're looking at a roads rule violation without even realizing.
Yeah. That's kind of that's kind of my thing. Like I definitely agree with I like the idea of the protection of, here's what we're supposed to do, because that at worst is like a civil case, right? As opposed to something that can like be a roads violation and the entire court case gets ripped.
Okay. Either way, we speak with Angel and try to get the process improved.
Are you opposed with us, like collectively, like 1, 2, 3 of us, like putting forward like a suggested legislation, just so they have a working copy?
No.
Yeah,
I think we should do that 100%.
Yeah.
When you say 1 or 2 or 3 of us, you're gonna make me write that shit, aren't you, Brian?
No, Rosner. Yeah.
Oh, Rosner. Okay, perfect.
I mean, look, I'm gonna play a part in it too. Like I'd like to see us collectively start pushing legislation forward, because I think we sometimes, just historically over the last 9 months, like there are things that we want, but we haven't really engaged with the legislative process, which we have the right to, right? And unless our voice is put forward in writing, it's kind of like we don't really have room to complain. You know what I mean? So,
yep. Don't use it, lose it. Okay, is there anything else anybody wants to add on to that, or do we want to move on to the next topic?
I think.
Okay. This was something that's probably a little more local, PD, but ongoing chases. This is something that DuPont brought up to us, and myself and Ventura have brought up a couple of times.
Are we fully good, chat? Are we fully good? Give me a type 1 in chat if you can see the stream.
And we get into these extended chases that are an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we realize that we're just chasing ghosts. Everybody involved
I'm like dropping frames and shit. I don't know why.
People, and then they.
Oh my god, there's so much lag in the stream now.
Endlessly getting vehicles. If we get to a position where we're just chasing people with no primary actors involved anymore, are we okay with the idea of just fucking breaking off and dealing with actual crime going on?
100%. We've brought that up many times over the past few months.
Yeah, I don't know what the
fuck. Feel obligated, especially if at the end of the day the primary people are gone, or say they had robbed a bank and you know damn well that they've already stashed stuff. You haven't seen them in 45 minutes, right? Like, they're not just going to keep that stuff on them. Like at that point, if you don't have any of the primary people, break the fuck off. Like to chase interference or someone who's obstructing. And then them being picked up, someone else is now obstructing, and all you have is obstruction, and there are other calls happening. Yeah, sure, it may have stemmed from a Polito, but there's now a cash exchange with a new hostage being robbed. At some point, like, we should be making those calls.
I think the point you're highlighting, and that has to be highlighted, is it really depends on what else is happening. And
all right, type 1 now.
People have the option.
I'm testing how delayed things are.
But it is not necessary. If there is nothing else.
I may need to reboot at some point.
There's no point for people to break off that chase.
Yeah, 100%.
If other stuff is happening, then sure.
Actually,
yeah, this is
type cat.
Enforced if you've only got felony.
Type your favorite animal.
Everybody must break off, but it's a decision call that I would like to disseminate to our captains and then command so they can push this idea forward.
Chat, it's so bad
across the department.
Chat, you know how we won? Do you know how we won 4.0?
Normal officers to make that call.
You know how we won 4.0, chat?
I feel like it happens.
I became the longest serving mayor, and now I'm not only the director, but I have local PD calling themselves local PD.
It's a lot of people are putting in a lot of effort, and we're trying to.
When it was actually meant to be in a BME.
That is done solely when you get a suspect in custody. And it's not the case. Like even a car, like even if we secure the thing,
it's supposed to be
any suspects. You know, I don't. There is always something.
Like
there's always something else that is going on, by the way. It's not just a case of like literally being out there and talking to people. Is there something else that could be going on? You see a lot when you do that with people, right? So
yeah.
No, but honestly, things have been. The collective has been really good. You can tell that these people care about.
This is something that's like really
PD improvement.
In Shift 3, where the calls are it's feast or famine, everything at once or nothing at all. So like when that one thing does happen, listen, I'm gonna be honest. In Shift 3, quite frankly, I don't care if the pursuit is 3 hours. If there's nothing else happening, I would rather the officers stay engaged. You know what? I'm just gonna pause.
There you go.
Thanks. But no, it shouldn't be an absolute requirement. But if there are other things happening, again, ultimately, I think that's for primary or whoever's involved to make that call or make a suggestion. I don't think it needs to be too formalized in a if this then that.
Cool.
All right, perfect. Disseminate that to command and try and get that encouraged rather than enforced. Next topic. You're going.
Viv, do you mind speaking up just a little bit?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
You're good.
People will take it upon themselves to decide when a call should be over and will just silently detach. That is another issue that we should probably.
Oh my God, you're so right on that.
Like, yeah, they might be over it, but they shouldn't be. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But like,
it's a huge problem.
They shouldn't just be doing it. That's the primary call. The primary of the call should make that call. And if the primary of the call isn't making that call, and command think, hey, this is enough is enough, then obviously they could step in, right? But yeah, people are just taking it upon themselves to make that call and just detaching without saying anything. And then you can't, it's a struggle to keep track of people, especially when there are interference, etc., and you're having people attached to the call and silently as well. So
Rosner, give me the umbrella, and then you can keep jotting down notes.
Oh, okay, there you go. Thank you.
Let me just go on this side. I just don't want your notepad to get wet.
Thank you.
Just a few steps to the there we go. Perfect.
Is it just going to be a case of us just... I mean, we're just going to have to punish individuals who consistently silently attach and detach.
Attaching is so much worse than the detaching thing.
Especially because the people who act in good faith, who might also have been the ones who actually vocally announced that they were attaching, are then going to be the ones that detaching.
Yeah.
Because they're actually acting as a good officer.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to say some crazy shit.
The silent attachers are also the worst because they want the least amount of responsibility in all of it and will probably not even write a damn report.
No. And then if it turns into some shit, the people that tried to do it right are the ones getting the shit for it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
So.
Next topic. Anyone got that?
Yeah. It's kind of a two-prong up, but it was going to start off with a discussion with, this is very relevant with the marshals because of the undercover ops that are ongoing. Aggression towards Babylonians in an attempt to de-escalate whilst they are essentially just sitting on rooftops and shooting us if we even go within 50 feet of their fucking compound. Like, it's a disconnect. We have officers who get shot and not trying to breach that every single day, because if we do just breach it every single day, my instinct is eventually it's just going to lead to a point where the only logical conclusion is to call in a couple of Harrier jets and start dropping bombs on the fucking thing. Like, we can't get to that point. So
leave that one on the table. Leave that on the table.
Dial it back. Well, if something like that was to occur, there would take an extensive process of evidence collecting through UC ops and a more formal understanding before we start calling in military.
So I think it's important because I know there's a lot of bullshit about Sassam's position that went around in regards to our stance on New Babylon. So historically, there was a period of time where New Babylon was assisting rather directly with the Faceless. However, it was very well understood that any crimes that they commit, they are going to see the end of it. Hence why many of them went in for murder, this, that, and the third. However, I think an important thing to sort of recognize when handling them is, this is my position, my department's position, is that they are not... There are going to be elements within the New Babylon as the community that are going to operate like gangbangers. Some that will operate as individuals defending what they perceive to be their own land. And then those that, you know, don't really do shit, right? And as such, like I myself noticed that, you know, there might be a lot of heat around this time. But in the evening, they're rather docile, outside of like Benji and Alfonso. And so with that having been said, I think those that are operating with New Babylon need to be able to recognize beyond the them versus us, because if we approach it as a them versus us, we're going to take the L each time. Right? Does that make sense? Like if these motherfuckers go drive into New Babylon, like we dealt with this the other day, I personally just say, all right, fuck this shit. You know, if they can go over there, I ain't dealing with that. Call too small. However, if they do some wild shit like fucking, like they did back when they took a bunch of, you know, elected officials involved and they went into New Babylon, we fucking icing all of them, right? Hands in the fucking air. Otherwise, we're going to ice you, right? You have an option to put your fucking hands in the air or go inside, but you take a gun, you're going to get iced. right? It's just it is, as long as I think we can articulate that we're not the ones escalating and making it a you know, hey, someone, like 4 people are wearing like, you know, brown jumpsuits, therefore we shoot all the brown jumpsuit people, I think we'll be on a good leg. But in regards to your second point there, you're not wrong, right? They're expanding. But we've also been watching them expand without any pushback. Now, I've had some conversations with some of the other marshals, and for the longest time, it was reasonable to see New Babylon within the gates, right? Within those wooden gates. We've seen, like, okay, they're within the wooden gates. They haven't crossed any roads. You can reasonably articulate in court that the owners of the trailers that exist own the land internal to that entire section. However, now that they've expanded beyond that, I don't think there's much of a leg. So now 2 problems present itself. Number 1, what is the position of Blaine County Mayor's office? That's important because they, as the representatives of the people, if they're not pushing back, it's kind of like, what the fuck do we do? Right? We're not the legislative authority. They kind of have to direct us a bit. The second is that regardless, let's say they're like, yeah, we don't like it. Any structures that are outside of those gates, we should be writing court orders for their dismantlement, right? Because otherwise they will continue to expand. And slowly the legal argument surrounding it is going to begin to evaporate. Why? Because things like squatters' rights that don't exist but can be derived from the Constitution is going to be at our throat. So there's other avenues we need to really start considering, right? I don't know.
Not that this dissuades from, like, obviously them being idiots sometimes. I was told that they normally provide officers a warning to leave and then shoot, but they're shooting very specifically the vehicle. Not that, again, I'm not going to sit here and say we shouldn't do anything about that, but, like, I know they obviously don't fuck with us. And based on what I was told, it doesn't sound as if they're, I know it's going to sound stupid, it's not as if they're trying to harm people necessarily, but it very much so is a, I don't want you here, leave.
Is this when we're inside or outside?
Outside.
Yeah,
outside. The experience that I have is when we're outside, we're typically out of our vehicles because you just sit in ducks, right? So we're out of our vehicle. They shoot at us, not at our cars.
They shot
They I was gonna bring that up as but there was a bunch of 71s just outside the front gate of Babylon. We thought maybe it was a gang shooting, so about 4 or 5 units turned up. This is something that has happened multiple times over the past couple of months. We turn up, we have a look, we realize it's okay, we go to leave, one person straggling behind, and then they get shot and either go down or start calling 78s because they've been shot, at which point, that's a breach, right? I spoke to Luciano today, and I was like, you shoot an officer, we have no other recourse but to breach your compound and shoot you guys down. Like, there is no other way about it. They need to understand that. But at the same time, I don't want to be throwing meat into the meat grinder over one person taking a photo and taking too long to leave when the primary order has been to leave.
Right.
I feel like it's
what did he respond with?
Luciano, he said he understood the consequences of his own actions. He said that he gave 2 warnings, and then somebody he had no control over fired a musket. He didn't know whether
there
he
you go. That's the problem. Even this thing that happened on the what they mark as their doomsday. I don't know if you've heard this already.
Yes. Yeah, I was speaking to CJ yesterday about this.
Consequence of I know that there's perception that we did this, that, and the third. Listen, I'm not going to speak to what Carmine may or may not have said, but they've got some gangbangers in there, right, that are very quick on the trigger, and there isn't internal accountability that they got. Am I making sense? When you got 50 motherfuckers and you got like 3 ex-gangbangers that are looking for a reason to shoot, one of them pops off and then shit goes down, they bear half that responsibility, right? My point there being that, yeah, okay, Luciano, you can't control it, but you're the fucking militia head, bitch. So I don't know what kind of horse shit he was giving you, but he quite literally runs the militia. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I understood it to be all
motherfuckers
shit.
gotta own his shit. You know what I mean? Keep your motherfuckers in check. Otherwise, kick your doors in.
5 units versus 4 to 5 defensive positions. But I can understand Miller's disgruntlement. Opal previously, they got shot, and we just leave and don't do nothing is a hard pill to swallow. But at the same time, I'm aware that we do have this investigation going into them, and I wanted to try and create some breathing room because they're so suspicious at this point. They'll shoot just even random outsiders who take 3 steps into their front gate. Like it's kind of impossible to do UC ops if you turn up without actually going fully undercover and joining the Babylonians for an extended period of time. If they would just shoot anybody who moves in to try and get intel.
There's the other aspect too, right? Is some of them, a lot of them do leave the complex, right? And if shit gets hot, right? Nothing prevents us from isolating. I'm going to give you an example, right? Let's say, I don't know, Alfonso Sebastian's got a warrant because he did that shit, right? We got the evidence to set in the third. Is that, you know, fuck trying to capture him on like at New Babylon. Wait till the homie's like out in the open, and we do everything in our power not to just capture him, but in the event he starts to even seemingly go towards New Babylon, 120 off the rip. You know what I mean?
Same as if they're going down the pier.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's like exactly. Yeah, like it's to me, it's the same framework of if you're obviously it needs to be handled right. Like I'm speaking among us. Obviously, we have our own folks that I'm sure might jump the trigger here, but you know, at least among our command, like, hey, they're clearly going into what is an ambush. We need to stop that for everyone's sake. Let's start tearing their shit down, man. I think we should talk to Blaine County Mayor's office and start going after all that construction outside of New Babylon gates. Right? Like,
I totally agree.
I'm all for whatever fucking like hanky-panky, like, you know, fuck sex cult trade shit that they're doing inside there. That ain't my problem. But the moment you coming out those gates and starting to wreck things, like, let's start blowing that shit up.
Yeah, no, I want to tear down stuff. I want to do it in a legal way that, you know, is properly articulated rather than I'm going to charge in there with an M4 and start putting holes and shit.
Yeah, we got to blow that shit up. Yeah, like
any large scale thing in New Babylon is always a disaster.
Which, unless anybody has anything to add on that, will nicely segue from the ambush into the next one.
Should we talk to collectively with the Blaine County Mayor's office, see what their position is? And with their blessing, see if we can get a court order for the dismantlement of whatever you want to call it. It could be vandalism. It could be this, that, and the third. Any other sort of thing that... I mean, I'm sure we've got evidence of those things being used, right? I'm not talking about the jousting thing. That's not pressing, right? But...
That was, they're using for shootouts, shooting helicopters... making
correct,
you know,
but like that stuff that still is in on the Sandy Shores like airstrip, like that's an easy court order. We've actually done that before.
Isn't that stuff gone already?
I not last time I checked, but it's been a minute. The tower, like the jousting thing, whatever. The stuff on Sandy, I would say that's extremely reasonable. The tower that's on the outside.
In Sandy? They have stuff built in Sandy? You're talking on the stage?
The there's some other stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's been like 2-3 days since I've been there, so I don't know if it's gone. those like booster pads and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was all removed for an event that was hosted there, and that event stuff has now also been removed. But I mean, even beyond that, there's still stuff. I mean, we could argue the trade day area is outside of their little trailer park. They're moving stuff across the road. There's a bit of a toll booth right across the bridge. We could start removing that. Things to just generally let them know that they are encroaching a line they should not be crossing.
Yes, exactly. Because
the bridge
if we
is interfering with maritime traffic.
Yeah, if there's like a escalation, right? Because I think it's reasonable that we don't know what their line is. We haven't really defined our line, and until we do, we're kind of putting ourselves on a legal back foot by not showing that we're doing something. But equally, it allows them to continue going until it's too late, and then yeah.
Hear me out.
Question: if they don't
taller tower on the hillside that we own.
If they don't claim, let's say like there's a random structure that we say is theirs, and they say like there's not theirs, we can just tear it down, right? If they're not claiming like responsibility for it.
I think it's safe to do it with a court order.
Yeah, but like, if they're not claiming responsibility, who are you issuing the court order to?
But who do you have?
You're getting effectively permit. I'm saying court order, but I'm kind of being a little ambiguous. Like, it would be hey, we're doing this thing, judge sign off. You know, it's like a demolition, like authorization, effectively.
Ventura, and your thing, I fear that like they will hide behind the whole. We have a lot of people. We don't know who owns this. It could be someone. It could not. Right? Like, when you're speaking to the collective of them, there isn't any one person who's going to take responsibility for it. But it doesn't mean, like, we know it's likely not legal for them to have. But what if there was something that was discussed with the mayor's office way back when, and it was done by word of mouth or whatever? They think they have a legal backing.
Then the
like,
mayor's
it's
office
just not appropriate.
And if the mayor's office doesn't agree to it, then they can get removed.
Right, I agree. But what I'm saying is, like, there's still a process that we have to follow that isn't just tearing it down.
I would say we can tear it down in some conditions if there's exigency. I'll use an example. There was I don't remember. We've done it a couple times. We've teared shit down in past. They had mounted guns. There was a situation where there's a massive shootout. I went in there and I took all the fucking shit I saw because it was plain sight. And so we took their mounted guns. We took their boxes of weapons.
You take my car.
Brian.
If they use that tower, I'm going in there with a damn TNT and blowing it up.
Okay.
That's not necessary, Brian. We just gotta give Miller a call.
No, he's gotten better. Miller's learned. Oh, you mean after the court authority? I'm gonna restart my.
It was a joke. I say we can take down whatever we want. We just need Miller.
I'm gonna reboot in a second.
Abrams that I can drive over the fence.
I need to take a nap real quick. Chat, I'm gonna restart my stream. All right. I'm gonna restart my stream. Unless I'm good. Am I good right now? Can you guys hear me? Is audio completely 07? Hold on, let me try something before that.